It is once again that time of the year. We have reached the final stop for TNA, where everybody is going to try and create a final resolution to end strong and to go big in 2025. Welcome to the discussion. This is TNA, Simply Predicting. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Simply Predicting. I hope you are doing well as we approach the year end and the holidays. You know what this is. I am the Superman Noah Foster. He is, of course, the Rage Wrestling Walter Cruz. He is the Renegade of Wrestling JJ Williams. We are the Simply Reliable Studios. And go ahead and say it real quick, JJ.
The only reliable SRS in professional wrestling. Damn it.
And he doesn't digress. Every time I always start that, but I always got to give the man his glory. And again, he's like the Rod Roddy here, all right? I'm Bob Barker. That being said, the price is right. We hope that we give you a fun time tonight. And again, folks, we are here to discuss TNA. It's our last stop. Final resolution. Thank you all, by the way, for tuning in as always. Whether you watch this live or on demand, please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, PayPal my friends as always, or super chat. It's as simple as that. You all make this possible, and I'm just here to encourage the love of wrestling. And that being said, again, it's a simple trio panel tonight as we're covering TNA. And thank you for those that, of course, participated in this year's league. And again, it's a dead heat. Shout out to Joshy, Jerry, Ashley, Christopher Raj, Train Atkinson, Jeff Chadwick. JJ, you're doing very well. Kimberly, Big _ Space, Con Andrew, of course, in the chat. Falling for Prime Cuts. My other horseman of predictions, Mark Griffith. Alistair, Mark, Sienna Chanel, Lex, everybody that's participated. This is the top 25. So end strong here, guys, because this is the last stop. And right now, acknowledge me because I'm leading. So I'm the guy to beat. Good luck. Before we get into things, let's go ahead and see how everybody else feels tonight about TNA Final Resolution before we get right into it. JJ, good to see you. Of course, we also ended the league for your brand, NXT. Damn it. Shout out to Arlene Dominguez and Aaron Riff, who won NXT, respectfully, for both the team and Galaxy. Congratulations. Of course, that league will resume next year. But you're also doing very well in TNA. So how you feel about TNA's final stop? Final resolution?
First of all, as always, good to be seen. I don't know, man. It's like, I feel good. I feel like TNA has been on a whole other level these past 365 days.
No doubt.
You know, it really kicked off at the end of Final Resolution last year when they announced the fact that they were going to be back as TNA. And from Hard to Kill all the way up until now, they have proven that they indeed are hard to kill. And between the debut of Nick Nemeth this year, the return of the Hardy Boys, the ascension of Joe Hendry, the NXT-TNA crossover, you know, just hit after hit after hit for the company. And while the NXT-TNA thing seems like it maybe has fizzled out a little bit, we also don't know how long the deal was for. They got a good 6-month run out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It could have just been a deal for 6 months, as far as we know. You know, I think the true test will become February if anybody pops up in the Rumble. Maybe as it was getting closer to the holidays, they didn't want to do as much crossover because they wanted people to be able to have time with their families and not be multiple booked and stuff, you know. So we'll see what happens after the first of the year, but I'm impressed with what TNA has thrown out there at me this year as they've kind of risen up. Some people would say other companies have steadily declined over the last year. I have a feeling that if TNA can keep this momentum going, despite the fact that Josh Alexander's contract is coming up, Jordan Grace's contract is coming up, and by the end of 2025, Joe Hendry's contract is coming up. If they can keep that momentum going despite losing some of their biggest stars, the sky's the limit for total nonstop action.
very eloquently said and pontificated when it comes to the rebirth of total nonstop action, the true red and yellow form, where it truly has delivered, of course, to be the alternative standard of the business once again. Arguably one of their best years since I can remember. It definitely restored the feeling of TNA. Although I always was a longtime fan of Impact Wrestling, I just wanted them to get their beep together, and it looks like they finally have. Though Access TV still sucks. Well, thank you for that, JJ. And again, good luck tonight in the finale of this Predictions League. And again, for your first time in the TNA League, you've done a phenomenal job. And it's been an absolute pleasure predicting this with you. And I look forward to continuing in 2025. All right. With that being said, Walter, always good to see you as always. Of course, the hardest working man outside JJ Williams for the Super Reliable Studios, whether it's producing, whether it's analyzing, whether it's reacting, whether it's, putting together, creating. And of course, right now you're in the verge of also handling your own final resolutions in moving. God bless you and good luck to you on that. But how you feeling about TNA's final resolution, man?
Feeling good. I echo everything JJ says. And, I just wish that, like, I'm not telling to take a shot at AEW. I wish it was TNA that scored that max deal, because that god awful Access Network. If they got one of these streaming, I don't give a damn if it was Tubi that TNA can get. You can get on any of these platforms. I swear they would do so much better. They truly would be number 2, and it wouldn't just be our opinions. Like, it'll be truly number 2 if they can just get a streaming deal or something to get off that Access damn TV. Like, and before Access, it was Pop. I never even heard of that channel. Like, I was like, what is this crap? I think it was called Pop. But
it was, and it was Destination America, and then they lost their identity on Spike or some other channel. They were YouTube and Twitch exclusive. They were ran by Jim Cornette. Oh, dear God almighty. Bruce Pritchard. They were ran then by Anthem for a little bit, and then they finally got Director of Authority after Scott D'Amore helped TNA survive its former identity of Impact Wrestling during the pandemic, and then, of course, got ousted out by Access executives, or so it seems. And then Santino Marella basically took over and has guided the direction of TNA alongside Gail Kim. So, I mean, it's been a crazy road since the last time we saw the letters TNA, and we survived the era that we're not going to talk about that happened during 2010 to 2012 before the It Factor Professional Wrestling Bobby Roode took over. Just saying. And don't get me started on Aces and Eights and Dixie Carter. Anyway, but yeah, it's crazy to think about that this company has probably had more turmoil in its span than the biggest, most recognized company on the planet in the last decade alone.
Yeah, you said it's a crazy road. Hopefully it's a victory road, and we'll see something in 2025 that's just a network deal or something.
Well, stop that. Folks, right now, each time you hear the word something, take a drink, but make sure it's non-alcoholic. Thank you. We do not encourage alcohol poisoning here. I am not the learning tree, but I just want to say I also don't overkill gimmicks.
I honestly didn't do it on purpose. Like, I didn't even think of that.
You see what this man started? It started with the freaking Simply Reliable Studios Minute, and now he's trying to do this. What are you doing? Stop
I don't know. Hey, JJ said that person's name 3 times when he was talking.
Stop it. I need it, guys.
Okay, I did, but to be fair, I was pontificating, I was expounding, I was elaborating. It's not like I just randomly said Joe Hendry out of nowhere.
You just said his name,
and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
You did it on purpose.
You're right. That time I did, but I was trying to make a point to Walter that when I was giving my speech, it wasn't the time for the gimmick.
Yeah, right. Good grief. Someone got the freaking 2-point inside the arc. Anyway, good to see Lily, Matt, Ed, Colin in the chat, and everybody else watching. All right, guys. But yeah, I definitely echo the same sentiments. Again, I've always been a lifelong fan of TNA and Impact Wrestling. It still had the elements of what Total Nonstop Action was founded upon. X Division still being the standard, the knockouts being the alternative, and you never truly know what's going to happen. And the scores prove it. It's been the most unpredictable league this year. But yeah, TNA, since being revived, back at Bound for Glory, into Final Resolution and now approaching their genesis, to your point, JJ, which will be the kickoff of the new year for us. It really has been amazing to see what TNA has once again reminded the true and faithful and the new and casual what this company's been about since 2002. And I am looking forward to this show. There's a couple of matches, though, I go like, Tim Allen, but again, that's what TNA has always been. It's been that opportunity for people that you think will never get that chance, get an opportunity. And to your point, a major person that has been on a road to redemption since arriving in TNA got the biggest opportunity this year he wants to capitalize on. So I think without further ado, great pontification, great respect, and great acknowledgement for what TNA has brought forward to us too. But City Predicting community, panelists, wrestling fans galore, without further ado, let's get right into it. So once again, it is the last stop of TNA's calendar year, Final Resolution. And of course, we'll be coming here at the Simply Liable Studios tomorrow night. The only way you can watch it, folks, is on TNA Plus. They will, however, have a countdown available for everybody that's a TNA Plus subscriber or not, or TNA social media platforms, starting 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, while the actual show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we'll be coming here at the Simply Liable Studios, so stay tuned for more on that. And again, folks, your opinions matter too. As we predict these matches, let your predictions be known in the chat. I will put them up. And also, the forum will be live in all the comments of each of these streams once this video concludes, as well as my social media. Good luck to everybody, whether you're coming into TNA right now or you want to finish off strong, make a lasting impact, and see what you can do here. Simply Predicting TNA. All right, let's go ahead and get into things. We got 2 matches this time on the countdown, not 1. And we got a lot of these matches, not just in the countdown, but the show, with continued base fallout from what's happened since Turning Point and before. Starting with this. It's Leon Slater going one-on-one with the Systems, JDC. This really escalated since Laredo Kid and Leon Slater got the better of the System. Of course, talking about Moose and JDC in tag team action. Now JDC is looking to get a bit of revenge in his pound of flesh against the young OG from the UK. Leon Slater, of course, has been impressive in the TNA faithful since coming into TNA from last year's Turning Point tour, and also endorsed by Kushida. He also had a chance, along with JDC, to become the one contender for the X Division Championship, but came up short. We'll talk more about that later. So this is kind of unique to think about because, again, we think about the System. We talk about TNA. The System has worked TNA the entire year. But JDC has only been part of the System for maybe a quarter of it. And again, it's one of those things where the former Fandango, for those that don't know, he's kind of been that propaganda machine, but also basically a helper to the System. Now he's got a huge chance to prove himself against Leon Slater one-on-one. Again, countdown match, straight up. It's a grudge. Maybe both men could lobby for a championship, considering how many champions there are on TNA, unlike other companies. This match feels very random, but that's kind of what the countdown is sometimes. JD, what do you think about this? Do you think that JDC once again reminds you why you should trust the System, or does Leon Slater get maybe a surprise win here? I can't tell the last time he got a big singles win.
Yeah, I think that Final Resolution is going to be what the last pay-per-view was called. I think it's going to be kind of a turning point as we start to head into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I, much like our other TNA faithful Datilla, see big things in Leon Slater. He reminds me of Javon Evans. You even use the term Young OG, which is Javon Evans' nickname.
Ding, ding.
So I could see some big things for him and a win over JDC to head into 2025. As you said, they were in contendership for the X Division title. Maybe a win over JDC could be what he needs to get a shot at him. A shot at the X Division title come Genesis, perhaps.
Possibly. Just saying. All right. So we got one for what we're going to call the young OG from the UK, because that literally is what he is. Why Javon Evans made his name known in Deadlock Pro. Leon Slater was signed by Scott D'Amore in the UK during the Turning Point tour last year, folks. And again, shout out to Datilla. Please follow her when it's wrestling time at Rangers of Wrestling, as her and Bert work with Body Slam and also give you review content for all the biggest shows during the week of professional wrestling. Damn it. All right, Walter. Well, what do you think about this? So JD thinks that Leon Slater might have a big opportunity ahead for him if he beats JDC and sticks it to the system. Do you think Leon Slater gets it done, or does JDC once again figure out a way to remind us why he is not necessarily Fandango? He is Johnny Dirty Curtis, whatever the hell his real name is.
I think it is Johnny Curtis. This is like so random.
Man,
I think I'm gonna go with JJ's pick because I honestly feel like Moose is the last line of defense for the system. He's the only one that the system is hanging on by a thread. Everyone seems to be on a little bit of a losing streak, and it's just him. It's just Moose. Moose is like the last antivirus of the system. And once that goes, once you can figure out how to do that and put a Trojan, and I don't mean something nasty, that's an actual virus, people. And if you know about computers like Noah does, a Trojan is a virus. Exactly. But once somebody can be that Trojan and actually be the last line, put that virus, and finally we get rid of the system. But it's only hanging on by a thread because of Moose. So I think that keeps it going. I don't think JDC survives, so Leon Slater wins.
I almost feel like for me, when it comes to the system, Moose, like you said, is the final boss. I'm going to put it in video game terms. JDC is like the entry novice you face on a Mortal Kombat tower. When Mike Santana beat JDC in a bloody, barbaric Falls Count Anywhere match, you saw what it led to. And Mike Santana beat Moose at Bound for Glory. To your point, Moose is the face of the franchise. Moose is the guy to beat right now in TNA. Arguably, right now, the whole entire calendar year. Stop what I'm telling lies. With Leon Slater beating JDC, I think it does prove a point that Leon Slater could be a great threat or an opportunistic challenger towards Moose's X Division Championship. And according to Moose, he's not looking to use option C. He's looking to remind you exactly what this title means. Trust the system? I still don't. But I do trust Moose pushing everybody in TNA to be better. So I think I am going to go with Leon Slater here because Leon Slater and Moose, the match that hasn't happened yet. I'd be very curious how that goes. So we're on agreement. I'm going with Leon Slater.
And to your point about him being a final boss, it's like if these guys competed in a match to see who was going to get a shot at the X Division title, and obviously neither one of them won. But if that happened, why wouldn't you just have Leon Slater run the gambit to get to Moose? A win over JDC here, and then a win over Brian Myers, a win over Eddie Edwards, and then finally you reach the final boss, Moose, for a shot at that right there.
The original version, in case y'all don't know, is we're looking at like the 10th incarnation of the X Division Championship. But I love the fact that he pointed that out. And thank you. And again, right here, this is a fair point. We talked about the X Division. We talked about people that talked about this division being about no limits. We talked about the heavyweights that flew like cruiserweights, like Samoa Joe. Now we got Moose in the process. And of course, Amazing Red, he was one of the quickest friggin' X Division champions crowned in TNA and W, whatever the hell you want to call it, history. So again, thank you to Tula. Yes, Walter, I see your hand.
I just wanted to put it out there. I don't think anyone's gonna stop the system. I think system's gonna implode within. I really think Moose is gonna be tired of carrying dead weight. Like everybody else is gonna be losing. He's the only one, and then he's gonna look back one day and be like, why the fuck am I even with you guys? Like, I can do this shit alone. And then it's like it implodes within. And I feel like that's what it is. I don't think it's going to be one specific person that takes down the system. It's going to be a self-termination.
That's fair, considering, to your point, the system is in action throughout the show. And I'm not just talking about Moose or JDC. The only one not in action is Alicia Edwards. But we also know she has like a cheat code, particularly to former tag team champions looking to regain those. But we'll get to that later. All right, well, let's go ahead and keep going through the countdown here. And, oh, good freaking Lord. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. But anyway, one-on-one.
Well, we're going to talk about the king of TNA. Is that what you don't want to acknowledge, Noah? The king of TNA versus Mr. Jordan Grace. Is that what you have a hard problem talking about?
The present. He used to call himself the future, so now I just call him the present.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Kazarian would like to remind you that you have every reason now to hate him. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this match, though. It's Frankie Kazarian, who currently still holds the Call Your Shot gauntlet opportunity towards the TNA World Championship anytime he wants, one-on-one against the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. This really escalated after last week's TNA episode in that six-man tag main event when the Northern Armory and Frankie Kazarian got the better of Gresham, Macklin, and Eric Young in trios action with the shot of the trophy to the back of the head and neck. Now Gresham's looking for a bit of revenge. And I don't think he's going to come with black ink or dark intentions. I think he's looking to send a pure message to Frankie Kazarian. Of course, again, Frankie Kazarian, we know that he's waiting for the opportunity. And we know the TNA World Championship's on the line in the main event. So I'm just going to say it once. I'll say it again. Last time, you all thought that Kazarian was going to win. He didn't. And Mike Santana spun his block at WrestleCade. And now Mike Santana has his own chance to become number one contender for the TNA World Championship. So, Walter, do you think Frankie Kazarian actually gets the win here on the countdown and creates his own final resolution towards the TNA Championship?
I'm going to go with Gresham to lose. I wanted to mess with you because I know you're going to be like, huh? I'm going to go. Frankie's got to win. Like, don't do what WWE does and you win some kind of title shot and then all of a sudden go on this crazy losing streak and then cash in and become the champ. Like, it never made sense to me why they do that with the Money in the Bank. Don't do that with Frankie. Like, make it believable that we see it. He's on this crazy winning streak, and now we're gonna be like, wow, he can actually take this title now. And we make it believable when he does, whenever he does it, whenever he cashes in. I don't know when he'll do it. I don't even know. We're just used to saying cash in. I don't even know what you say. When he takes advantage of his opportunity, I guess.
Calls his shot, literally.
Yeah, there we go.
His shot.
So I think this is kind of going to be an easy win. I think that's why this was booked. This is an easy showing for Frankie. Matter of fact, I think he's going to be pretty dominant in this match.
I mean, JJ, we are talking about a former Ring of Honor pure and world champion. Of course, Gresham's also no stranger to Kazarian or PWG. But to Walter's point, I will give him this. Jonathan Gresham has not had the greatest run of momentum so far since coming back to pure form, whether in singles or in multiple man action. But again, Kazarian, sometimes at this point, he knows what he has ahead of him. He probably doesn't even want to do this match. He might literally just throw this out disqualification. So you also might want to think about that too. So there's no goals on the line. It's about who wins here. I'm just saying. But JJ, go ahead and talk about Kazarian and who you got winning this match in the countdown.
I'll give the fact that I haven't watched TNA for a minute because of work and whatnot.
That's fair.
But even prior to that, I can't tell you the last time Jonathan Gresham was on my television. So I don't exactly know where this came from or why it's happening. I'm not trying to make jokes here like I do when we simply predict other shows, but
right.
This has the put balloons up on the wall and throw a dart and whose name falls out of the balloon feel to it that I clown Tony Khan for sometimes. Turn the tumbler. The king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. Jonathan Gresham. He's still under contract with this? Screw it. Let's throw him in the match.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like Gresham too. It was always Jordan I had an issue with. I never had an issue with Jonathan. But what are we doing with him? Like, again, I haven't watched that much. When was the last time he was really featured on TNA? The last time I can think of was the thing with Kushida. And that was back in the late summertime.
Yes, and since then, as I was pointing out, he has been kind of alongside Steve Macklin, Eric Young, good people in trios and tag matches. In fact, he's helped literally Macklin at one point get a victory over the Northern Armory and Alexander. And again, this match came from the fact that literally last week, Thursday, not tonight, Gresham got hit in the back of the head with Kazarian's trophy. and that cost the team of Gresham, Macklin, and Young a match against the Northern Armory.
Walter's wife in the chat said everything right there. He couldn't even get past Kushida. You want me to believe he's going to be Frankie? Get the fuck out of here.
And I quote, all right, then. So I don't think anything else needs to be further said. So you're going obviously with the Kazarian.
Say it right, Noah. I am going with the king of TNA, Frankie, the future Kazarian. Your next TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, there's a caveat. And all I'm going to say is this. You're not a king until you have a crown. Period. All right. Well, I'll give you this because it's on the countdown as well. And I looked at that consideration, and he's already got a loss from the last TNA special during the main card to Mike Santana, who's in action later. If he's going to go 2025 with a final resolution to finally win the big one for the first time in his damn career, then he has to end the year off strong. And I think a victory over a former Ring of Honor World Champion would actually add to that. Hook or by crook. Again, he's facing one of the most pure technical wrestlers in the business. And Kazarian is anything but that right now, according to his character. So I'll go with you all for once with my mind and say that Frank Kazarian does get the win here. Probably by hook and by crook. But I'll go with Kazarian. All right. Well, that was great conversation regarding the countdown. Well done, folks. Let's go ahead now and go into the main card. And again, got a stacked card. We just got another match added and talk about something. Something! Let's go ahead and talk about this first. We got a triple threat tag team match where we figure about, again, who could possibly challenge for the TNA Tag Team Championships. In fact, folks, this match was legally made official tonight. And yes, that graphic is not Photoshop. Sami Callihan and PCO are a tag team. What the hell is wrestling in 2024? You tell me. Okay, let me go ahead and explain this real quick to just bring people up to speed. It's the Rascals, former TNA Tag Team Champions, who's been on a bit of a downward spiral, but trying to get a bit of an upswing, going up against the current digital media and international heavyweight champion, PCO, and Sami Callihan. Yes, you heard that right. And, of course, the newly defined duo, part of a trio looking to take over TNA. I'm, of course, talking about Jake Something. Yes, that's his name. It's Something. Get over it. His last name is Something. I will say that as long as it annoys James because it makes me laugh entirely. But he is Something. He just hasn't won anything yet. And, of course, his tag team partner, the former MLW heavyweight champion, Hammerstone. Alex Hammerstone, for those that don't know. Okay, so simply put, everybody wants a chance at TNA Tag Team Championships. The Rascals previously held it. The other two teams never had. And these other two teams were literally just formed at the later part of this year. But with Trent Seven alongside Hammerstone and Something, maybe they could do something. And they've been at odds end as of late with the Rascals also, who, of course, Ace Austin. He will be in action later against Trent Seven. We'll talk more about that later. With the fact that the Hardys right now hold the TNA Tag Team Championships, but the system is trying to take them back, also, you might want to take that into consideration. And Hammerstone and Something never had a tag team opportunity. And PCO and Sami Callihan, Roots became a tag team out of circumstance. But they've also been haunted by the number 23. What does that mean? You try and tell me. Okay, let's go around the horn and give everybody's thoughts on this triple threat tag team match that, again, was made official tonight by Santina Morella. JJ, which team do you believe wins this triple threat tag team affair?
Smoke if you got him.
There you go.
Simple as that. I mean, no disrespect to the other teams, but they seem like one of those spin a wheel, make a deal, strange bedfellows type of tag team shit that WCW was fond of. Like Hammerstone and Something make the most sense as a team. Because they're just two big, bad motherfuckers. PCO and Callihan, I guess, make sense because they're both violent.
Well, yeah.
One is the perfect creation is how can you kill what's not dead? And then you got Callihan, who's Callihan, I gotta go with the established, long tenured team. The only way I could see the Rascals losing is if one of them turned. And I don't think TNA can afford that right now.
No,
Especially with what just happened with Wesley and the Rascals.
Yeah.
I don't think they can afford that. So
all right. Well, to represent Trey Miguel, but also let's keep in mind, Walter, the Rascals just tagged alongside their guru, of course, talking about one half of the Rascals and Matt Riddle, bro, and Kushida back at WrestleCade, and they lost to the Hardys and Ace Austin. So again, this would be a big opportunity here for the Rascals to get back in tag title contention. But we also talked about, let's be honest here, guys, to your point, why Attila did the something thing. Thank you, my friend. Again, Manola. We talked about when Alex Hammerstone and Jake Something became a tag team. We called them to be future tag team champions, and this could be their first big chance to punch their ticket towards that shot if they beat the former TNA tag team champions and the former TNA world champion in Sami Callihan, and you got PCO. So, Walter, where do you stand with this 6-person kerfuffle?
This is the most random put together. Like JJ said it earlier with the whole stick the something to the wall, and it was like, what the hell? But you
Get
know,
this.
I'm already doing bad in the league. I might as well go home, go hard or go home, right? So I'll say some Jake and Hammerstone.
You can barely say their names.
I know. I'm gonna go. I'm
He
gonna
can't
go
even
with
buy
them.
into his own prediction, JJ. Good grief.
I gotta go with them, man, because what the hell? Might as well go hard or go home. Plus, I understand what JJ said, because especially with the injury to Chris Bay, you can't turn one of the Rascals heel and break up that team. You just lost half of ABC. You really already down some tag teams, so you don't want to do that. So you want people to feel good about something. I keep saying something. I'm drunk as hell by now. You want some people to feel good about something, but yeah, it's just a random pick just to try to get some points because I'm so far behind Hammerstone and something.
I understand both your sentiments. Let's just put it out there right now. We're ruling out PCO and Sami Callihan, right? We're just ruling them out. But I gotta be honest here,
PCO
guys.
hasn't lost on pay-per-view though.
Exactly. Let's keep that in mind. He's one of the winningest wrestlers this year in TNA. What the fuck?
But as long as he and Callahan don't get pinned, he still hasn't lost.
Which is why I think right now that they're going to put more focus into the Hammerstone and Jake Something team since they align with Trent Seven. Originally, I thought it was going to be Hammerstone, Something, and Seven. Say that 3 times fast, folks, if you want, against the Rascals and Ace Austin at Turning Point. And talk about a swerve. I was way off. I still think that's something to come. Because again, Trent Seven is facing Ace Austin later. Who's to say that Jake Something and Hammerstone don't get involved here? But also, if PCO does get pinned, let's keep in mind, guys, he's a champion. And I think that's fair here because let's be honest, does PCO need the digital media title? I rest my case.
Yes.
Honor.
Yes, he does.
What? There
is nothing more digital than straight to streaming horror movies. And he's the French Canadian Frankenstein.
In a month about holiday cheer, where horror seems to be taking more of a hold on the industry than freaking spiritual glory. Jesus Christ Almighty, this world.
I really think Cardona should have beat him. Like digital.
I agree.
It fits everything Cardona came up with, like the whole internet champion. It's like a rebirth of that. Like I'm surprised they didn't go with that.
Well, you can only pray that means you'll have a new face of ROH from the Hammerstein Ballroom come next weekend, but I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, considering the last champion was Mark Briscoe. At least he was ROH. Anyway, getting back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm going to say right now, and again, guys, remember the prediction form I'm going to put out so y'all can make them official. Because I expect you both to do that. Because again, this match right here also has my brain going. I want to see something for something. So give me something. And I'm going to go with Jake Something and Hammerstone for the win. Because I just think they need to get something going with this new tag team that actually might have maybe. I'm trying to think of a different word than his name. I can't. Maybe other attributes that could help this tag team division. Well, that was difficult. All right, let's move on.
Algo.
What?
Algo. That's how you say something in Spanish. Say algo.
I knew he was gonna do that. Damn it. Still counts. Anyway, and the Tila's Latina, so of course it counts. So thanks a lot. All right, let's go ahead and move on. This is a freaking hell. JJ, you're going to lead this one off because you got the very damn title in the background, and I respect that. I know you also don't really know what to make of Terry Crews, but you can't argue that Moose, he beats people on my Billy. He's already beaten Laredo Kid. Now he's facing Kushida, the former multiple-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Let's talk about the X Division Championship and try and actually get some sense going on this program, shall we? Good grief. It's Moose, the current X Division champion, going one-on-one against the latest number one contender, who, of course, won during a five-way dance with Leon Slater, JDC, Trent Seven, and Ace Austin. I'm, of course, talking about the time splitter, Kushida. Now, Kushida, of course, far more experienced than Moose and far more accolade in his career. Multiple-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, who would defend those titles with Kevin Knight at Wrestle Kingdom 19 in Tokyo Dome, January 4th. But there's one thing Kushida hasn't done yet. He has not become a champion in TNA. And he's had previous opportunities for both the TNA World Championship and the TNA X Division Championship, including Ultimate X. But it's also one of those things we talk about Moose. You trust the system or not? Moose said that he literally is going to show you exactly what this X Division Championship means. And so far, he's lit a fire underneath the entire X Division's ass, even by force. So, again, let's go ahead and give Terry Crews some credit, shall we? Even if you haven't watched TNA, come on, man. You just talked about how we talk about Moose as the franchise player, arguably the hardest worker, the man to beat in TNA. But it'll be a huge accolade for Moose to beat Kushida. And I'm just going to say right now, I think that's happening. Okay, JJ, what do you got to say about this match of the X Division Championship? What do you see happening?
I see Bullwinkle retaining.
Damn.
Rocky will not be able to believe the wonder of him pulling a rabbit out of his hat.
Oh my gosh. When are you going to address Moose for who he is?
I mean, look, it's not hatred, but
I know
Moose is still too new into his reign. They're not going to have him lose it. I agree with Attila. I think right now Leon Slater needs to be the guy to do it, unless something drastic happens in the next few, weeks or months. And he ends up getting injured, knock on wood that he doesn't, but they need Moose to basically build up the future of the division. And losing two guys that are over the top experienced, and I'm not saying Leon isn't, but he's still kind of new-ish to the TNA landscape.
Correct.
Moose doesn't need to lose to Kushida. He doesn't need to lose to Ace Austin. He doesn't need to lose to Speedball Mike Bailey. He doesn't need to lose to Kazarian. He needs to lose to a guy like Leon Slater. Even a guy like Ryan Nemeth. Because you figure Ryan didn't do jack diddly shit in AEW. That's why his Joe Hendry video was 3 seconds long.
Still the greatest video of all time.
Ryan Nemeth. He's Nick's brother. The end.
Hey, you can add another line, and he also lost to Joe Hendry in a match. So now it's 6 seconds long.
And now he's JBL's bitch.
So
Damn.
Yeah, Moose needs the retention here.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And you kind of named the entire X division, if we're being perfectly honest here, including former X division champions Ace Austin, who, again, if it wasn't for Trent Seven, we might have got Ace Austin versus Moose. And Ace Austin's a former 3-time X division champion. I would actually love to see if once Chris Bay recovers, I want to see Chris Bay and Moose run back their match, because I thought it was incredible. But yeah, and then Kevin Knight's another one, and Kevin Knight's the tag partner of Kushida, Walter. Kevin Knight literally came into TNA and faced Moose, I think, in one of his debut matches, and it came a super classic on TV. I would love to see Kevin Knight soar against Moose and try and beat the man's spear. But again, that spear lights out, and you want to go back in time, but not through the DeLorean once you get hit with that spear. Ask people like Bailey. But what do you guys say regarding this X Division Championship match, Walter?
I would like to see a damn resolution to Kushida and Gresham. They just kind of poof and be gone with that rivalry. I was like, what the hell? I thought like Gresham
he went back
like,
in time in a different timeline. Remember, he went back in time and he affected the time slots where Kushida now no longer is channeling that Japanese yokai spirit, and now Gresham is pure again, and Kushida has focused now on the X Division Championship, considering that the Machine Guns are now in WWE, but they were transitional champions for Smack. Okay, I'm not trying to start a little
it's Marvel magic. Somebody did
Marvel
something
magic.
Time Machine. But this is the Simply Reliable Studios. It's simply predicting. Simply put, Moose is gonna run over this dude.
I wouldn't count Kushida out that easily. I'm sure he's going to literally fight Moose to the fullest and try and take his arm out in the process, and not forget he applies a hoverboard lock, a Kimura. But yeah, I mean, let's be honest. TNA is about surprising the hell of us. They've done it a number of times, to your point, your scores. But I just can't see Moose right now losing this championship, especially with the fact that he said he's not even going to use option C with it. He wants to elevate it. Give him a chance. I don't trust the system, but I trust Moose retaining against Kushida. All right. Let's go ahead and move on now into some real action. We talked about it before. We talked about the TNA World Championship. We talked about 5 resolutions. Whose 5 resolution is going to yield a future opportunity towards finally getting it? Here we go. Let's talk about this unique match. It's a number 1 contenders fatal 4-way. We, of course, have Mr. Mayhem himself, former TNA World Champion Steve Macklin, the Realist, who beat Moose at Bound for Glory, and Kazarian at Turning Point, is on a hell of a run right now. Mike Santana, who already made it known he wants the TNA World Championship, tag team identity be damned. The former TNA World Champion, who's already lost to Steve Macklin, one of the damnedest no disqualification finishes I've seen with bullet shells back at Turning Point, but also the longest reigning and shortest reigning TNA World Champion, the walking weapon, leader of the Northern Armory, Josh Alexander. And of course, I save him definitely for last, but because he's the best, 250 pounds of pure motivation, the man who got screwed by John Lakefield at Bound for Glory, and I saw that live, and I'm still pissed off about it. The answer to all eyes questions, the man that should be the face of TNA, and I will call him my king, and his name is Joe Hendry.
His name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Damn it! Get this man the title! All right, anyway, Joe Hendry. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and break this down a little bit further. I kind of gave you guys a little bit about the wins and losses. We've also seen Joe Hendry and these men in trios actions, mixed results, but Joe Hendry coming out of all the motivation possible right now, especially after tonight. And again, Joe Hendry, Nick Nemeth wanted to give him the rematch, but Santino Marella, while he believes Joe Hendry has to work his way back up from the bottom. With wins over Ryan Nemeth, hey, he got another line of song. And already Joe Hendry, who's been fending off the system still in TNA. Again, Joe Hendry is the reason that the system failed in the first place. I just want to keep putting it out there. He in Moose. He's beaten Josh Alexander. He's got respect for Steve Macklin. He hasn't faced Mike Santana. All right. Jury's still out there, but wasn't for John Layfield, that Joe Hendry would right now be TNA World Champion. And I'm just waiting to see how he screws Frank Kazarian out of calling his shot, especially at his expense. But that's a different night because, again, neither man right now are involved in the championship picture yet. Fatal 4-way, you know how this goes. First pinfall submission wins. They get a future TNA World Champion opportunity. I imagine it's going to be at Genesis. I don't know the full details. So here we go, guys. Good luck crowning your new number 1 contender and leave Kazarian out of the picture if we can, because I don't need him screwing this up, at least not this match. Walter, we're starting with you since we're just continuing to do the snake motion. Who do you got being the new number one contender for the TNA World Championship?
Well, obviously, I love me some Joe Henry. With all due respect to him, and I know you can't put logic and wrestling in the same sentence.
No,
But
you
Joe
can't.
Henry contract, as JJ said, is up. He hasn't committed to the company.
Yeah.
Alexander's contract up, hasn't committed back to the company. So
Yeah.
I eliminate those two as being the winner of this, because why are you going to invest in people that you aren't 100% sure are going to stay in your company?
It's fair.
So that leaves Santana and Macklin to me. And I really think it's time for Santana gets that opportunity. I'm going to go with Santana for this one. It's just a gut feeling for me.
That was probably the most confident prediction you said all night.
Mhm.
All right. And again, that's fair. Again, JJ, Joe Hendry had his chance, and he's the former longest reigning Digital Media champion. Both Macklin and Alexander are former TNA World champions, and they had to fall to their feud at Turning Point. But you also know the Nova Army could get involved here because, again, for the 4 ways, there's no disqualification. So that does kind of alienate Mike Santana, where, again, at one point, the system held him as the most dangerous threat towards Moose's TNA World Championship, to the point they made sure he wasn't part of Slammiversary. So do you think, to Walter's point, Mike Santana's momentum rolls on into 2025, and does he finally get a shot at glory?
Joe Hendry's contract is set to expire, if the rumors and the internet is correct,
Right.
at the end of 2025, not the beginning. We've had not one, but 2 TNA Knockout champions enter the Royal Rumble. In 2025, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion could enter the Rumble.
Yes.
Nick Nemeth has already said he ain't doing any crossovers because he just left WWE less than a year ago. It was at Genesis, Hard to Kill last year that he debuted. Got him mixed up because next year Genesis is January. They didn't run back Hard to Kill.
Yeah, right. Kind of confusing when you ask me, but please continue. And also, you are on point.
So Joe Hendry wins this match, gets the title opportunity at Genesis, wins the title at Genesis, and come February 1st, enters the Royal Rumble as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm going to overtalk you all so hard if that happens. I'm just going to put it out there right now.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question.
Go for it.
Call your shot. Frankie can choose whenever he wants to call it.
Correct.
If there's still an NXT-TNA partnership or even a WWE TNA partnership come 2025, Frankie has already appeared on NXT trying to get the title shot, one of the final 2 in that battle royal. Joe Hendry has appeared a couple of times. If Joe Hendry enters the Rumble as champion, which is a WWE pay-per-view, could Kazarian call his shot at WrestleMania 41? And then on WrestleMania, we have a fucking TNA World Heavyweight Championship match?
I would truly believe that Elon Musk can make pigs fly if that happens.
What
It's
if
just speculation. I definitely think Frankie's probably going to call his shot in LA when they do the pay-per-view next year.
About to say, you guys got a pay-per-view coming literally to Kazarian's turf.
But JJ,
But what bigger stage than WrestleMania?
That's true. But JJ, what if he does it right then and there in the Rumble to ruin Henry's chance?
Nah, because if you make a TNA World title match in the middle of the Rumble, everybody else in the Rumble is in that match now.
Bingo.
That's true.
But we've talked ad nauseum since the crossover happened about Joe Hendry entering the Rumble.
Yes.
Both TNA entrants that have happened so far have been champion.
Yes.
Put the belt on Joe Hendry, and then you've got TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry coming out to that massive Rumble pop in Indianapolis.
If Joe Hendry goes face to face with the face of the franchise of WWE, John Cena, I'm going to lose my shit. And what if John Cena believes? Go ahead, Walter.
I got a little way around that you said about everybody in the Rumble. If Hendry is the champion and is number 1, before number 2 comes out, Frankie calls his shot. You get an impromptu TNA title match right then and there. Frankie wins the title, leaves, and Hendry has to do what he's got to do left in the Rumble. Might even get tossed out early because he's beaten.
No, there's no way, because 1 and 2 literally are back-to-back. There is no way that I see him calling his shot at the Royal Rumble. It'd be one of the damnedest decisions he would ever do. I think JD's on point with LA, though, because, again, they're doing big shows in LA and New York. They're 2 of their biggest pay-per-views. And for Kazarian to hold out to call his shot in LA at Rebellion, I mean, that would be massive. But it's one of those things right now where my heart says this, but my mind says this. Truly, Mike Santana has proven that he deserves a shot, calling his own shot, going into TNA for himself, returning home and becoming a realist, a singles player, beating former TNA World Champions. But how many fucking times have we said that Joe Hendry should be the TNA World Champion, damn it? And it hasn't happened because some reason they don't pull the trigger.
It's because they want you to want it more.
But how long do you hold out? You know what? I'm not going on a rant, but I do see JJ's hand. Go ahead.
Isn't Santana from New York?
He is in the UBS Arena.
So why don't you just wait on that until we get to the New York pay-per-view?
I was thinking about that too, because we don't know the full, let's be honest, we don't know the full cycle of TNA's 2025 yet. But we know
No, but
stops.
Hendry wins the title at Genesis. Hendry defends the title at Rebellion, and Frankie cashes in his opportunity after Hendry's already defended the title. That way he heals it up and gets a weekend Hendry. Santana versus Kazarian at the New York show.
And again, Kazarian lost to Santana at Turning Point. I'm just saying, I don't know if they're going to have like no surrender or sacrifice between Rebellion and Genesis. They're going to bring back other names that we haven't seen in TNA's bygone era of pay-per-view library names that are actually going back to more older names, it seems. But it's just one of those things right now.
Give me Lockdown. I want a lethal Lockdown match.
I mean,
Please.
we got this. We got the system and we got TNA. It writes itself. Bring it fucking back. I'm just saying. And I agree. But right now, I think Joe Hendry needs to have this moment before he leaves TNA. And I think starting off a new beginning in TNA wrestling with Joe Hendry as your champion is a hell of a way to kick off 2025. Fuck it. I'm in the lead, so I could be risky. I'm going with Joe Hendry, damn it.
Walter, did we change your mind?
No. I'm still going to say Mike Santana.
Fair
If
enough.
you bring back Lethal Lockdown, by the way, I want the six-sided cage if you're going to do all that.
I don't think they're
I
gonna go
really
that
want
far,
it, even
but
though they never brought back I just want that. And you know, a random crossover match I wouldn't mind seeing, because it just fits Santana versus Priest. Both New
That'd be
York,
interesting.
both representing Latinos, both
Puerto Rico.
I think the same city in New York. Yeah, like they're almost the same character, except the other one's like 6-7 inches taller. But like,
I mean, yeah, there's that.
I wouldn't mind seeing that and a random crossover.
Well, again, that's if you ever get a Worlds Collide and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Obafemi, Moose. Just saying. Anyway.
You're never gonna get that out. Like me with
And
Naomi
never
in
say
the
never,
bloodline.
all right? How many damn tweets in 2024 have you literally bit your tongue on the fact that it actually happened? I'm just saying. Anyway, and you didn't even call it, but we are calling Joe Hendry to win, despite the fact you said Mike Santana. So for the first time, it's 2-1. We finally got a difference of opinion, and that was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely motivated. Again, Joe Hendry win, damn it! Anyway, good luck to all four men. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Cool things down here, shall we?
I'm surprised we
no.
didn't get Datilla chiming in on that match.
Oh, we probably
Right.
just hurt her brain and made her think a lot more things. Or she's probably
We're
looking for
doing.
I'm just saying.
I'm laughing because we're doing all this fantasy booking, and Joe Henry will probably win the title, and Kazarian will call a shot right then and there and just screw Henry over again just to piss Noah off.
If you ever seen NAF and Joe Henry gets screwed by Kazarian, I apologize if I ruined this YouTube network forever in advance. Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and move on now to something else that was ruined in Mustache Mountain, or should I say Speedball Mountain, as we have a one-on-one grudge match, as I was talking about earlier, with the former three-time X Division champion, Ace Austin. He goes up against Trent Seven, former Red Pro British Heavyweight champion, and of course, the man that literally screwed Speedball Mike Bailey post-match and gave him a hard farewell with a 7-star lariat. As I said, Trent Seven has formed this union with Jake Something and Hammerstone, and these three are trying to take over TNA. And so far, they've gotten the better of Ace Austin and the Rascals in the process. It was Trent Seven that cost Ace Austin during the 5-way X Division scramble to crown the #1 contender. And that's why, again, if it wasn't for Trent Seven, Ace Austin would probably be challenging Moose right now instead of Kushida. But here we are. With the fact of the matter that Ace Austin is, again, rolling alone, and he did get the win with the Hardys back at Turning Point. It's one of those things where we don't know when Chris Bay is going to be back, nor do we know if the ABC are going to go back after the tag team championships or maybe have single intentions. And some people for the longest time called Ace Austin inevitably maybe the youngest uncrowned TNA world champion. Jury's still out on that, though. But that being said, why JJ took a moment to, relieve him. There he is. JJ, we're back to you on this. To start this off, do you have Ace Austin getting the win, or do you have Trent Seven low blow, 7-star lariat, and picking up a crooked win?
I agree with the manual in the chat that Trent Seven needs to push, but it's the holiday season, and people are still on the whole Chris Bay thing. So I see Ace Austin picking up the victory to kind of honor his friend.
Yeah, it's just one of those sentimental type things right now where I feel like you gotta just roll along with that, but it's also one of those things where earlier I picked Hammerstone and Something to win. If Hammerstone, Something, and Seven, try saying that 5 times fast, are actually going to move forward in TNA, I think they need to win as the three of them as a unit. So I'm going to go reluctantly here. Again, I could be a little bit risky. I'm going to say Trent Seven wins by hook and by crook. You're going to get some of those screwy finishes. It's TNA for Pete's sake. I'm just saying. So first time, Walter, you break it up. It's 1-1. You going with Trent Seven or Ace Austin?
I'm sorry. I don't mean this in a negative way, but with Chris Bay out and that injury and the whole GoFundMe and everything, I think they're just throwing Ace Austin a bone. There's no way they're gonna have him lose here. Like, it's just vicariously for Chris Bay. Like, every match is gonna be dedicated to him and stuff. Like, Ace Austin is about to get on a run, and we're gonna have to be prepared for it. I don't think he's losing for a while.
I can understand that, but we'll see. Again, Trent Seven, he don't give a damn, character-wise. So we'll see if y'all are right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move into the Knockouts division, shall we? Because Rosemary has finally made dark intentions known and come to light that she wants a chance at that gold, especially after seeing the war and thrashing that Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich had at Turning Point. It's the Juggernaut Jordan Grace versus Rosemary, a battle of two former TNA Knockout World Champions. This really escalated, though, when Jordan Grace was facing Tasha Steelz. Bleh. And, of course, one of her rivals of the past. And thanks to that freaking cheat code, Alicia Edwards, Jordan Grace lost. Now Jordan Grace has a loss against Masha Slamovich 2 out of 3 falls at Turning Point. And she just lost a match on TNA against Tasha Steelz. And Rosemary is looking to prey on what she believes is weakness to get closer to the champion and the championship. Now, let's go ahead and think about this, Walter. We talk about, again, 2025, and JJ, you pointed it out, which is why you're going to be last here. But Jordan Grace, again, she is the juggernaut. She is the knockout you need to overcome. Rosemary, for the longest time, we didn't know what the hell she was going to do after Jessica Havoc faded away into darkness thanks to Ash by elegance, beating her in one of the worst women's matches this year at Under Siege. And we saw what happened when she put Wendy Chu to sleep. Now she has new intentions, and they seem to be singles-wise, and momentum favors Rosemary right now. She just got to win the night on TNA. So that being said, all things fall to Rosemary, not to Kay, I guess. Walter, who you got in this Knockouts grudge bout? Do you think this might be Jordan Grace's swan song? Will Rosemary send her so below?
Maybe. Grace isn't having the best of the end of 2024. She's been losing quite a lot lately. But I think Grace wins here, but not in a traditional sense. She's gonna win by DQ because somebody's gonna wake up from whatever nightmare black world underground they're in, and they're gonna show up here and they're gonna continue this little cross rivalry. I think Chu, I don't know if it'll be on TV, on TNA, NXT, whatever, but Chu's gonna get her hand on Rosemary, and it's gonna be here. So I'm only picking Grace because I feel like it's gonna be a DQ, and because Wendy Chu is gonna show up, and it's gonna continue that rivalry. So that's the only reason I feel like Grace will win is by DQ.
You're just holding out for NXT to still be a thing and actually something happened before Genesis. But all right, I get that. Well,
Hey,
JJ,
let me
again,
hang on to my dream, man.
you're dealing with a nightmare here facing the juggernaut. You kidding me? Anyway, JJ, again, it sounds like Walter literally is echoing what you were talking about, particularly at the show before Turning Point, which was literally, it was Turning Point, excuse me, because that was after Bound for Glory. But again, Jordan Grace has done everything in TNA. Hell, Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich tagged together after Masha won the TNA Knockouts World Championship and beat the crap out of Alicia Edwards and Tasha Steelz. And the only reason Alicia Edwards and Tasha Steelz are rolling together is because right now Tasha trusts the system. And I think Alicia is trying to usurp the TNA Knockouts World Championship from Masha Slamovich, her former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship partner. And of course, Masha, who finally came into her own character, speaking English, and became a babyface, she overcame her greatest rival and finally won her first TNA Knockouts World title. We talked about establishing titles before, but you also got to establish challengers. And I can't tell you the last time that Rosemary had a TNA World Championship opportunity. Just saying. So, JD, what do you think about this?
Jordan Grace is WWE bound. She's going to put over the talent on her way out and do what's right. She just had a series of bangers with Masha Slamovich.
That's putting it politely.
And now it's Rosemary's turn to get the rub. Genesis will more than likely be her final appearance. She'll probably work Genesis, do the tapings the night after, be at the Rumble February 1st, be WWE signed by February 2nd, if not that same day. If the internet is to be believed as far as her contract ending the end of January.
And she chooses not to resign. Okay, so you are going with Rosemary then, huh?
Yep.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly with the fact that Rosemary is finally going after the TNA World Championship and not the TNA Tag Team Championships. No longer bound to decay. No longer tagging with Wendy Chu after putting her to sleep. Get over it, dude. She's in eternal slumber. So yeah, Rosemary's got to be the next number one contender in my opinion. With Kylan King still out on injury, with Killer Kelly now mother, congratulations. I need Killer Kelly versus Masha Slamovich though for this TNA Knockouts World Championship. I'm just saying. With Jody Frett and Danny Luna dealing with Team Elegance. Bleh. Thankfully, they beat them both, so maybe they no longer are in contention for the tag team championships. And Giselle Shaw is no longer there. She should have been TNA Knockouts World Champion. I still stand by that. And Zia Lee just got signed. Saya Brookside still trying to soar high. Probably deal with a cannibal sooner rather than later. Incident at Evans. It feels like to me that Rosemary is the perfect next challenger for Masha Slamovich. And I could also see these two going more than one time. Because Rosemary, she bloody crazy. She's been in Monsters Ball. And I think Masha would welcome that. So I'm definitely going with Rosemary as the next challenger for the TNA Knockouts World Championship and overcoming Jordan Grace. And this is not their only ever encounter. I'll tell you that much. But this is going to be fun to watch. All right. Well, speaking of taking things to the extreme, let's go ahead and take things to the extreme, shall we? And again, I asked the question, do you trust the system? And do you still believe in this reboot, Walter, while you've been talking about it? But JJ, we're going to start with you because we're going to the Hardys world once again. I saw into the charismatic Enigma's mind at Bound for Glory. You tell me who loves wood more when it comes to tables. Because now the Hardys are going to defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the system. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. And of course, that cheat code, Alicia Edwards, will be in their corner. In a tables match. Oh, good grief. And this is not Dudley's, folks. This is Team Extreme themselves, Matt and Jeff Hardy. This really escalated after the system got the contractually obligated one-on-one tag team rematch, but it all fell apart when they thought they were going to lose, and they got DQ'd. To the point, they made a message, putting the Hardys through tables. You can go back through TNA's archives for a history of table matches and how well it's worked out for champions and challengers. Teams included, but not limited to, of course, Beer Money and Team 3D, who are probably the strongest opponents besides the Hardys. And again, the system is trying to once again regain the titles, which would be their third time in the same year as TNA Tag Team Champions. 1 year ago, by the way, when Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards first tagged together. I'm just saying. All right, JJ, so here we go. It's extreme. There are no rules, so let's break a body. Who do you got leaving with the TNA Tag Team Championships? The recently signed Hardys are once again the maybe reinvigorated system.
The Hardys just put pen to paper. I don't even know if the ink is dried yet. They just got the belts. They're not going to lose them right away. End of story. The Hardys retain here.
Okay. Well, Walter, we talked about, again, that three-way triple threat tag team match. You were talking about the Rascals earlier, who are also those trainers taking things to the extremes. We also talked about, again, maybe Jake Something and Hammerstone finally getting something in 2025 as a duo. And maybe the Hardys will be, that transitional expense. Do you think the Hardys leave Final Resolution still TNA Tag Team Champions?
Yeah. I agree with JJ. The Hardys are going to delete the system. Yeah, there's no way. They just, like he said, they just signed the contract. They just got the tag titles. They're going to try to elevate the tag division. There's no way. At least there shouldn't be any way that they lose it. But
this
stranger
is
things
TNA,
happen.
guys. I'm just saying, we're dealing with a tables match here, so you could actually protect yourself in defeat. Just saying.
That's true.
But, okay, I'll go ahead and agree with you both right now and say that I don't think that the Hardys are going to lose these tag titles either. Would I be surprised to see the system win? No. But I would be surprised to see Rebel Hardy break Alicia Edwards by planting her through a table. I'm just saying. I mean, she still has that bitch of receipt. Hello, Charles. Good to see you. But it's something right now, looking at TNA going into the new calendar year, I do see the champions retaining. And I have champions in plural for a reason. Because it's the first of other championship matches. Yeah, that's right. So that was pretty easy. But hey, everyone loves a human car wreck, right? And let's be honest here. Tables is just a lame brain way of saying we're going to get tables, ladders, and chairs whenever the Hardys are involved. Am I wrong?
No.
Nope.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to what I believe should be the semi-main because it's the Knockouts, the richest prize in all women's wrestling, even though right now NXT, I think, does have the more stat women's division. Again, congratulations. Shout out to Sachi Blackheart, who returned. What a pairing, by the way. Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. I never knew a trio like that could actually exist, and I never knew I wanted it that badly. Talk about crazy. A different crazy. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this form of crazy, shall we? TNA Knockouts World Championship on the line as Russian Dynamite herself, Masha Slamovich, will defend the gold against, good grief, oh my, she's annoying, but hey, she's persistent. Tasha Steeles, the former TNA Knockouts World Champion, who beat the greatest of the greats, Mickie James, for her only ever TNA Knockouts World title. And again, Tasha Steeles is hell-bent on getting back this championship. We've already previously challenged Jordan Grace, not once, but twice, earlier this year, both in triple threat and singles action, while she was champion and lost. She did just pin Jordan Grace, thanks to Alicia Edwards' interference, by the way. And and don't think Alicia Edwards will be too far away from this. She did pin Jordan Grace most recently, so she has a pin over the former TNA Knockouts World Champion. She says she does whatever it takes. We'll see if she has whatever it takes to beat Masha Slamovich, who right now is on the run of her life since Bound for Glory, including a win over Lindsay Snow. And I said it once, I'll say it again. I believe the champions are going to be retaining their titles as we head into the new year and head into Genesis. And I'm going to leave it at that. But that being said, Walter, it's back to you. Do you have a new TNA Knockouts World Champion?
Look, I love me some Tasha Steele.
Yeah,
She's
I
my
figured.
mamacita of the TNA, of the Knockouts division. But hell no, Masha ain't losing this. Like, she's too much on a roll in 2024. Like, think about it. She's making history defending the Knockouts Championship in blood sports. She's over there doing so much. MLW, she's involved in like anything women's professional wrestler right now, and showing off that TNA Knockouts title. Like, this is the publicity you need right now. You got it on a perfect person. She's not losing that title anytime soon. Sorry. I still love Steels, but no way.
JJ, I literally named verbatim, I think the whole Knockouts division, including those that are injured. And I think I already talked about with 2 or 3 other stories that involve Masha as champion looking to smash through their opponents. We just talked about Rosemary, by the way. I think it goes like this. Beginning. Next. But JJ, what do you guys say regarding this TNA Knockouts World Championship match?
Yeah, I like Tasha. She's not my mamacita like she is for Walter. But Masha isn't losing it just yet. I do think Rosemary will be next. I'm not sure who Masha loses it to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Edwards would be a decent shout, and I know a lot of people wouldn't be feeling it, but considering the fact that they were, a team together, Militia, I could see that being something to happen down the road.
Even though she already beat her in a no disqualification match prior to Turning Point where the title was on the line. Just saying.
When did she get the title?
Masha Slamovich got the title from Jordan Grace back at Bound for Glory, which was in October.
Right. And you're saying that her and Alicia had a match after she won the championship?
Literally the Thursday before Turning Point.
Okay. I must have missed that episode then.
I got you, brother.
If it's not going to be Alicia, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see it be Zaya Brookside or Danny Luna.
Ooh, Danny Luna is a fair shout. I like that. But I also just want to see, if you guys have not seen Killer Kevin's Masha Slamovich, where the fuck have you been in women's wrestling? Damn it. I'm just saying. That needs to be a program. I've been waiting for the longest time for Killer Kelly to become TNA Knockouts World Champion. So again, when she's done being a mommy, a real mommy, hello. I'm looking forward to Killer Kelly returning, especially after the fallout with her and Masha's former identity as the Team MK Ultra. So I think that's going to be a big program for the Knockouts come next year. Now, do I think that Killer Kelly will be the one to take it off Masha? Maybe. But anyway, continue.
That's pretty much it. So I've got Masha retaining here.
And again, I'm not discounting Tasha. Hell, I first saw Tasha Steelz wrestle Kelly Klein for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship back in 2019 Supercard of Honor. So I know what she's capable of, all right? And she really has made a name for herself in TNA, especially since Kiera Hogan's no longer with her and they're no longer Fire and Flavor, former multiple-time Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And again, Masha, Tasha, Rosemary, Grace, they all share former accolades, similar accolades. They're tag champs and they're Knockouts World Champions. But right now, it's Masha's time. It's as simple as that. Masha retains. In what's got to be the most obvious match to call of the night. What's up, Walter?
Don't forget, if they push it right, she's far from it. I'm not saying it's happening, but Lei Ying Lee is there too. Just don't, if they do it right, just because of what she was in WWE doesn't mean that that's how TNA would treat her.
That's fair. And also, both women have a kickboxing background and martial arts background as well. So, hell, you could take this to Bloodsport if you want. In either world, you could have that TNA title defended. I wouldn't mind seeing Li Ming and Masha in the first ever Knockouts pit fight match. Only one of the matches that's happened in TNA history. That was with Kenny King and Speedball Mike Bailey. And Speedball knocked Kenny King's head off. Just saying.
Or if Masha does a tradition out of putting that title on the line in places that aren't TNA, like a Bloodsport. You said it. If you do a Bloodsport there and defends it against Lei Ying, it's a knockout or a submission. Like one hit can change it. So you can do it there. That she just got caught with something. It happens in real life, in MMA, kickback, anything. People get caught with things. So
yeah, and I mean, we've seen Miya Yamashita previously involved here in TNA, the girl with the pink kick. She could be another one that could face Masha for the title, either here or in Bloodsport. I mean, there's very real, big, wide possibilities with Masha Slamovic in the TNA Knockouts World Championship, and I love that. So Masha's retaining. It's as simple as that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get right into our main event, shall we? JJ, got your Cheez-Its?
Actually, no.
Damn it. Well, also, damn it. Calling this. Damn it. Let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. It is the wanted man. Nick Nemeth's retaining. It is the wanted man, Nick Nemeth, defending the TNA World Championship against AJ Francis of First Class with Casey Navarro in the corner. And simply put, you don't even need to watch TNA to see how this happened, because what is Nick Nemeth but a fighting champion? Straight up. When Nick Nemeth was talking about who he would defend this title against anytime, anywhere, he plans to go in 2025 TNA World Champion into Genesis and continue to be the face of TNA. AJ Francis came in and says, I have a New Year's resolution as well, where 2024 has probably been the best year of my career, and I want to go in now, the new year, as the world champion. So Nick Nemeth, he offered him this opportunity as a fighting champion. Now we got it. First time ever one-on-one matchup. It's Nick Nemeth versus AJ Francis for the TNA World Championship. Simply put, John Layfield's going to take the Giants' head off, and Nick Nemeth retains. The end. Any questions? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, well, that was final resolution. All right.
I mean, I don't think any of us think that AJ Francis, the former Top Dollar, is going to win this title.
Nope.
However,
Yes.
This match could be crucial for AJ as far as everything that I have been saying about him since he came to TNA.
Which is why I was waiting for you to add to this.
Again, none of us expect him to win.
Nope.
But this match is his redemption song.
Yep.
If he can get in there with Nick Nemeth and hang with Nick Nemeth and not botch, and not pull the flop dollar shtick,
I didn't say it.
then it will be the equivalent of what Nia Jax has done this year in WWE. Even though he won't win the championship. It's that redemption. It's that erasing the stigma that followed him because of the flop dollar thing. And I think that is more important than winning the championship. Because if he can do all that, then he'll be taken more serious as a title contender come his next opportunity. And that's when you really got to watch out.
Okay, that's respectful. Again, former digital media champion. Of course, he lost that title to PCO. He lost his international heavyweight championship to PCO as well. I'm surprised he hasn't defended his Chiefs championship. But that's a different conversation. And again, he came into TNA, this year at Hard to Kill and played a diss track. Joe Hendry, of course, dissed him, and it was brilliant. Again, one of his best hits. Go listen, folks, to Banned from Diving, courtesy of Joe Hendry's YouTube channel. But yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of don't know what to expect, but you know what to expect in the end when it comes to result. If nothing else, I will say this just to give Walter to say something. Yes, I said the word.
Something.
Nothing! All right, we're awake again. Walter, depending on how much AJ Francis tests the wanted man, Nick Nemeth, and proving how goddamn good he is, and that's what Nick Nemeth pushes himself every time he wrestles. Could Kazarian maybe capitalize on the opportunity, or does John Layfield take his head off again? And does John Layfield show up here regardless, or only when he thinks Nick Nemeth is in a state of emergency? Let's think about this real quick. We didn't talk about this. John Layfield, every time Nick Nemeth is at a moment of weakness, whether by shenanigans, by the opponent, or whether by ref bump and all hell's about to break loose and you don't know what's going to happen. Does John Layfield show up again? Does Ryan Nemeth this time stop John Layfield and confront him? Does Joe Hendry come in on behalf of Nick Nemeth and John Layfield lays everybody out? Where does the John Layfield element come into play? I'm just saying. Walter, it's on you. Got anything to add regarding that?
Who the hell knows what's going on in that Cowboy's head? For all intents and purposes, he can come out and cost Nick Nemeth. Who knows? Like, he can clothesline Nick out of there. I don't think he won't. I'm just saying, who knows what's going on? But
John Layfield is on that real cowboy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Accurate. Continue.
But AJ, I don't know. He's first in having no class to me, and if you take the CL from that word, you know how I feel about him because he's just an ass to me. But that,
Continue.
yeah, I don't think he's winning this because I think it'll be. Yeah, no way. No way. I was trying to think of different scenarios in my head, but no. But JJ's right. I think it's more about the redemption arc rather than that. Like, I completely agree with him because then it's his chance to shut all his critics up, and I'll be the first one to give him some credit if he does that because I do like his little rap battles and stuff. But he just was no match for Henry in those songs. It was freaking hilarious, and the apology was still the best thing ever. Like, I don't give a damn what anybody says. If you can call it that, Joe Henry's apology to them was freaking hilarious.
Can
Oh
you
my
please get
God.
fired? He had to do Creed. He had to do Creed, one of my all-time favorite bands with Skillet and Three Doors Down. Joe Hendry, you incredible son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's he had to do it, but Nick wins, and I don't know if JBL actually shows. What does it say about AJ if JBL doesn't show up? It means they had all the confidence in the world in Nick, and they knew there was no shot at AJ. So maybe for AJ to get some credibility, you almost do need JBL to interfere so that they can at least say, "Well, look, JBL showed up. AJ is a credible threat." Because if he doesn't show up, we're all going to be like, "Look, even JBL knows who gives a shit about AJ."
And we've said that JBL shows up during shenanigans. Why can't Casey Navarro get involved? His other first class associate, and that's what brings out JBL to even the odds.
Exactly. That's
it's like, do we really consider first class a threat, even 2-on-1? Probably not. But to Walter's point, Casey Navarro getting involved could be what it takes to bring out JBL.
Or Kazarian trying to call his shot, because Kazarian, for all we know, he might wipe out Casey Navarro, and he might also stick it to AJ Francis, because Kazarian is a man for himself, and he has the golden ticket right now to cash in anytime he wants. Ryan Nemeth, though, again, was also wiped out by JBL back at Bound for Glory, and that started the fallout with Ryan Nemeth and Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry has nothing but tremendous respect for Nick Nemeth, and I don't think he wants Nick Nemeth to lose through tomfoolery. And again, JBL right now, the only thing he seems to care about is the TNA World Championship being with Nick Nemeth, period. But I do wonder, when that changes, do we finally learn why? You're trying to talk about maybe JBL. Well, let's call it what it is. They just call him John Layfield. John Layfield literally costing Nick Nemeth. I just don't think he's going to do that. There's something about John Layfield's connection with Nick Nemeth and the TNA World Championship, particularly right now, that has become a constant. A constant, what the fuck is this? And I don't think we're going to get the answer before year's end. I don't.
No. What if this gunslinger cowboy thing JBL's doing is awesome. What if he ends up, I don't know. What if Nick likes his dark side and goes with Layfield and doesn't even side with his own brother and they start a rivalry? It's a way to get his brother a title shot and elevate him in TNA. Go against your own brother. Who wouldn't love that when you're little kids and you both want to be wrestlers? Who wouldn't love to defend the title against their own brother? And I'm sure he'll be like, hey, I'll play the heel if I get to elevate my brother. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Also, we've seen Fall with Brothers before. Do you have a point? And I agree about this. Yes, JJ.
We had a brother versus brother match earlier this year. It was voted the worst match of the year.
I know.
So why are we trying to juju that for 2025?
Beep, 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 beep.
That
I'm trying.
2 hours later.
You son of a bitch. I was trying to say that
I'm
Ryan Nemeth actually has wrestled as a singles competitor more of his career than Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso ever did. So these two literally could have, considering their amateur wrestling background, they could have a great match. I'm just saying. Anyway, but you're not wrong. But damn. All right. So the bottom line, we expect two things. Nick Nemeth retains, and John Layfield takes AJ Francis' head off. That about sums it up?
Yeah, I think that's about accurate.
Okay. Well, again, folks, let us know your prediction towards TNA's 5 resolution in the chat, in the comments as well. And what are your 5 resolutions? Do you have your own as we head into the new year? Again, it should be a great show. I'm very curious to see what TNA's new beginning will look like as they head towards Genesis. And we know we got Rebellion and Slammiversary waiting. So good luck to everybody in the conclusion of the TNA Predictions League. But before we bid you a fine adieu and do some shills and plugs as well, it's not the only show this weekend, is it, folks?
Nope.
Let's go ahead and simply predict Saturday night's main events. Surprise, everybody. We decided to give Saturday Night Main Event some glory because they're bringing it back and going retro, and we love this. So we're going to simply predict Saturday night's main event, including crowning the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. Let's fucking go. Again, folks, for those that don't know, as we get right into it, it will be available worldwide on primetime NBC. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 matches made official. We know 2 more matches will be made official following the results of the SmackDown tournament semifinals. We know we're down to 4 women. We got Bayley, Chelsea Green.
I love that you did it without me having to call for it this time. Thank you.
Well, Chelsea Green for the win, or fuck this company. Anyway, Tiffany Stratton and I believe
Meacham. Mia Yim.
Thank you. Yep. So we got 4 women left. We know it's Tiffany Stratton versus Meacham and Bayley versus Chelsea Green tomorrow on SmackDown. The winner of those 2 matches will go on to Saturday night's main event, become the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. So again, I know we usually hype up stuff, so we can go ahead and do that. So you give me your hype and give me your prediction. Let's get right into it. Let your prediction be known too, folks. And we are going to start with the fellow advocate of women's wrestling like me, i.e. JJ. JJ! Who becomes the first women's WWE United States Champion? And how excited are you for Saturday night's main event?
I'm stoked for Saturday night's main event. I'm more stoked, I think, that Jesse the Body Ventura is back
Right?
than I am the fact that the show is back.
He's gonna freaking flex one on the table too, I bet.
But I'm just stoked. Like, I really want Triple H to reach into the bag of tricks and go as old school as possible. They've already resurrected the music. The logo looks OG,
Yes.
you know, the neon and everything.
I love it.
There's heavy indications that Cody Rhodes is going to have the Winged Eagle for one night only. We've got Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary. Does anybody know where Todd Pettengill is? Like, let's tap into Todd Pettengill and have him be a backstage announcer for this.
JJ.
Let's go full tilt. Lord Alfred Hayes has passed away. Rest in peace.
Unfortunately.
So has Bobby Heenan. So has Gorillas. So has Mean Gene. So has Finkel. But let's get as many of those OGs as we can tap into that are still alive and that are willing to participate. I'm not trying to make jokes, but Jesse the Body Ventura looked like the Crypt Keeper sitting at ringside. But goddamn it, if he's healthy and he's willing to participate, I'm willing to listen to the man because he was always entertaining.
Yeah, and he always put Vince McMahon in
But
his
if
place.
Todd Pettengill is still around and willing to get down, let's bring Todd Pettengill in for the backstage interviews. Let's make this happen. As far as this goes,
yes,
Chelsea Green is defeating Bayley. There's no ifs, ands, or buts as far as that goes. Now, how she defeats her, that's the $1 million question, and that's what I'm most looking forward to.
We'll tell.
Is Piper going to get involved? Is Nia going to get involved? Is Naomi going to get involved and accidentally cost her friend, maybe starting on the path to Naomi revealing herself? Is Bianca going to get involved? Like, there's so many X factors to this match. You know, anybody else that was on the opposing War Games side could get in this. I don't think it's going to be clear cut. But Saturday night's main event is in Long Island, the home of the broski, her husband.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't win the title, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Wasting my time.
This is absolutely not going to happen. I've got money on it being Chelsea versus Mia Yim.
Okay.
Because Tiffany has the briefcase.
Yeah, there's no point.
She doesn't really need it.
And
let's think of it like this. She's in the finals, and let's say she wins. Just throwing it out there. Then she cashes in her briefcase to become women's champion. Then she's got to vacate the United States Championship, and we have another fucking tournament. No, we don't need that.
That's a what the hell was the point moment.
So Tiffany doesn't need to be in it.
Look, the former
and if Tiffany is in it, then you know she's going to lose. Because what was the point in doing a tournament to crown a champion just for her to relinquish the title and do another fucking tournament?
Right?
So you can almost figure Mia Yim goes in on that side. Just for that. And then the other side, Bayley doesn't need it. Chelsea needs it. Chelsea has been the fucking MVP of the women's division since she came back.
Preach!
And if you believe what you read on the internet and what those other people that we try not to reference, even though we are the only reliable SRS in professional wrestling,
Damn it.
tell you, Chelsea Green is penciled in right now to win the tournament. So if you put stock in what those people say, they're pretty much telling you right now, Chelsea's going to do it. If the tournament was going to end in Northern California, Frisco, San Jose, then Bailey would be a shout because she's from that area. But Bailey doesn't need it.
No.
Bailey needs to stay away from the title picture unless it's as a tag team right now. Because her last run got really old really quick. I agree with Chelsea. I disagree with Zelina, but that's just me on a personal tip. It's hard to call someone an underrated MVP when they don't give her shit to do.
Well, then, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, again, let me tell you, welcome to the special double fetus that you're predicting. And thank you for that, JJ. A hell of an opening retort. And I am extremely happy to see this show back in primetime true retro form with the first theme I've cared about in over a decade plus related to Larry's WWE for a show with obsession. Absolutely brilliant. That being said, Chelsea Green or fuck this company. I'm going to keep it simple because I am simple. It's truly as simple as that. But also that being said, thank you all for tuning in to our continuing tour. Just now tuning in for this special out of nowhere surprise. First time ever predicting 9 for a league just for fun because we love the fact that this is back in WWE. Don't make it a monthly thing, though, because you're going to lose its glory. I'm just saying. But that being said, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend that your predictions and opinions be known. Okay, well, Walter, good luck following that opening retort. First off, how excited are you for Saturday's main event? And who do you have as the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion? And to Walter's point, folks, Selena Vega does have a chance to maybe become WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, as both the brands with LL, but both the red and the blue brands do have mid-card women's championships. Although I think it should go to Lyra Valkyria or Shayna Baszler, but that's just me, and I'm not even predicting on that because as far as I know, that tournament does not conclude on Saturday night. I don't think it's going to involve on the show. What does that tell you? Probably because it also was established, I don't know, 2 weeks prior to this actually being a thing. Just saying. Anyway, yes, Judy, I do see your hand up.
Really quickly before Walter goes, I think the IC title is going to conclude at the Raw on Netflix debut.
That's what I was thinking too. Because
either that or on the January Saturday night's main event, if they want to stretch it a little bit, because that's only a couple weeks after that.
It depends if they do it back to back weeks, because otherwise you're right on point for the Netflix one. But we'll talk more about that later. Back to Saturday night's main event, and the women have smacked the United States Championship. Chelsea Green for the win, or fuck this company. Walter, again, fuck this company if you choose Chelsea Green. Walter, who do you got leaving the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion? What's your finals look like, and how sad are you for Saturday night's main event?
I'm very happy for Saturday night main event. It's just part of my damn childhood, and I think they did bring Todd back for something like within the last couple of years, like within the last 3 or 4 years. I remember seeing him in something. I don't know what it is.
What? Wait. Was it NXT in your house?
I think so. Because
yeah,
he's part of it. I know I saw him recently. Yeah.
So that could happen, JJ, and I hope you're right. So, anyway, please continue.
Yeah. I agree with JJ with the finals and everything, and it's got to be Chelsea Green. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she's organically getting over to the point where she's almost a face, like on her own.
She is
like,
a face.
Have you seen the crowd signs? Like, they want her to win, and it's just like Tiffy time has become a face pretty much, like on her own organically. Sometimes the crowds can't be ignored, no matter how hard you try. So you might as well do it. And in terms of Bailey, I honestly think there's more stock in her reuniting with Damage Control as faces than it is her being anywhere near a goddamn title. Like I really feel like there's more stock in her doing that and you get a bigger pop and get more people behind you than her being anywhere near anybody's title. I'm sorry. You've had quite a few chances with a title, and like all your title reigns have been subpar. I don't know what it is. I said this about Trick Williams when we were talking about NXT. Some people are just built to be chasers, and it just fits them better. I think Bailey's a better chaser than the person who has the title. Like, I'm sorry. I like Bailey, don't get me wrong, but it's just there's just something about when she actually has the title. It's the booking. I don't know what it is. It's just something that can't organically get over. But
Well,
yeah, you Chelsea Green, or like you keep saying, fuck this company.
damn right. All right, well, fair enough. And again, as somebody that was a fan of this business since 1992, my mom grew me up, of course, on WWF. And I remember the Saturday night's main event. I remember the reboot they once did where DX got the better of the Spitter Squad and the McMahons. And then the rest of the show was an absolute car wreck. But it's one of those things where this has always been a mainstay standard to set up so much more in WWE. And I love the fact that we're going back to other retro vibes. Now, I need the VHS filter. I need the widescreen promos. I need the little background board that falls off the wall. I need the retro-looking microphones. I need Michael Cole in a bow tie. I don't have a bow tie. Sorry, folks. I need my retro vibes. Get rid of the damn LED around the ring. Give me the old school ring aprons and the fucking guardrails and barricades. Make it look damn organic. Make it look as retro, old school, nostalgic as possible. Just fracking saying. Anyway, sorry, got a little bit hot there. But
No, you're good. You're good. And to your point, 2020, 2021 NXT in your houses was his last appearances. And he's originally from the New York area.
They gotta get him. They gotta get
him. He currently resides in Texas, but he's originally from the New York area.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, so now it's on me. Damn it. Again, I am very excited. And again, folks, we will be covering it this Saturday. It will be a simulcast. So stay tuned for our coverage Saturday night's main event with the continuation of Winners Coming AEW with Collision and the Continental Classic continuing. Okay, so back to this. So first off, yes, I'm excited. Now let's go ahead and talk about this match. Again, Chelsea Green or fuck this company. Now, Chelsea Green has been the most valuable worker in the women's division, not named Roxanne Perez in NXT and WWE. Taking bumps and working any role and giving you the moment more memorable than the actual winners themselves, no matter what she's been in. Whether it was Money in the Bank and that ridiculous Mitsunoku driver through a ladder bridge, or the fall from grace off the tables that Tiffy Time said kudos, damn you, and freaking won the briefcase, or whether or not it was her run in the Royal Rumble where she lasted much longer, but got flattened by her own tag team partner countless times over and deflated like a freaking wacky inflatable for a tube man. Or the dumpster match where she basically wore that stank afterwards, including a VIP party where she was basically walked out of the room after Meacham got redemption against her. And I still think jury's out, that shouldn't have happened. But it would be so damn fucking poetic for Chelsea Green to beat Meacham in the finals, become the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion. I don't need you giving this to Bailey to set up a match with Chelsea Green in her home country of Canada to win the title there and rechristen the Canadian Championship. You don't need to go through hoops and hurdles like that with Elimination Chamber being in fucking March. Give Chelsea Green more than a moment, because god damn it, she deserves it. Chelsea Green for United States Champion, or damn it, fuck this company, I'm not watching. So there's that. But yeah, I'm very excited for this, and good luck to all involved. And again, maybe the Simply Reliable Minute will become live if Bailey actually wins tomorrow night, since you want to try and get my voice out here even more, you cursed content creator. But yeah,
and can you imagine the pop at the Chamber when Chelsea walks in there as your champion?
Yes, I need that. I'll go to Toronto one way or another to see that. Chelsea Green's one. I dig crazy chicks. I dig the unique. I don't dig the porcelain hussies that are on your billboard covers that have to be superway models or have to always be on top. Fuck that shit. People like AJ Lee, Chelsea Green, Harley Cameron, the unique and the underrated is what keeps this business going. Bite me if you think otherwise. And Chelsea Green is long over fucking due for a moment. Give her the title. Anyway, but I will.
Victoria.
Yes, my ultimate knockout Tara, Black Widow. Why the fuck she's not a Hall of Famer? Anyway, don't get me started. I'm already on a hot streak. Fuck it. But let me just go ahead and say this about Bailey in context. Bailey, much like Finn Balor, is one of Triple H's proverbial locker room leaders. There's no denying that. There's a reason why they have been so involved in weekly television, accolades or not, but there's a reason why they have that trust, that connection, that content focus. So Bailey is going to play a part in this tournament, but it doesn't mean she has to win everything. And with Triple H, I don't think he wants that. Even if TKO is Triple H's boss, and it's about marketing, branding, damn it, biggest names, damn it, all the money, damn it. You got more money than you need, all right? Seriously, this company, they say it's too big, not too big to fail. I get that, but honest to God, this company has never been in a better state, moral and profit in its life. Bite me if you think otherwise. So it's one of those things right now where I do think Bailey and Naomi is a program to come in the new year. And to JJ's point, it literally could kick off tomorrow night on SmackDown with Naomi costing Bailey here. But bottom line, I stand by it. Chelsea Green don't win. Fuck this company. And I agree with Paul Heyman. You don't know how to do jack shit with more championships. Why are you creating them when you can't even add more to your world championships? Just saying. Oh, we're going to complain about AEW having multiple titles. Well, look at what WWE's doing. And you all asked for this, but they fuck it up and knock me out of the gate. You all can eat your own crow with that shit if that happens.
Damn, Noah, tell them how you really feel. And how do you name crazy chicks and not mention Tatum Paxley? Like, can you give our NXT some love? Me and JJ over here, like,
you want me to
that's
really
the epitome of a crazy chick right there.
Dude, you want me to name more crazy chicks? I watched Yumi Suzuki and Hardcore Wars with Great Khan and Stardom. Don't forget who the fuck you're talking to. I can name crazy chicks all night, but that's not what this show's about. Maybe Saturday Shenanigans, that'll be a topic. Name the craziest chick you dig in professional wrestling for all the right reasons. Anyway, I'm good now. Bottom line, Chelsea Green win or fuck this company.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I see that. And I also saw Walter's hand up, but let's go ahead and acknowledge Emmanuel's super chat. If Bailey wins, why would you give it to her? So he actually wants to put context if Bailey does win. I just fucking said it. She's literally the biggest star WWE has on their SmackDown Women's roster, not named Charlotte Flair. And if TKO believes in marketing, branding power, damn it, they're going to use Bailey for that, I think, because Bailey's the most recognized name, probably. Why Tiffany Stratton is the name this generation wants to see with the championship sooner rather than later. Bailey is always going to be that WWE go-to girl.
Nope. There's a bigger name on the SmackDown roster than Bailey right now.
Go for it.
She's got a braid that goes past her ass and she spins it in the air.
And she's only a tag team champion. So
that doesn't mean nothing. I understand she's not in the tournament. She got eliminated. But Bianca is a bigger name, a better marketing tool than Bailey. The only reason to give it to Bailey would be to give her the Grand Slam.
I guess that's true. Another title means Grand Slam. Well, technically, that's the SmackDown Grand Slam. She still would have to get the Intercontinental Championship, but I do get what you're saying. But either way.
Well, because they count the NXT title, unfortunately, as a mid-card title.
Bullshit.
I agree, but I'm just saying they would count that because they already say she's Grand Slam, but it's like, what other mid-card title has she had? Exactly.
He's right.
And they just introduced the NXT Women's North American Championship, and that is the mid-card title of NXT.
JJ's right about Bianca. Like, how many times has he said that she's the female John Cena right now? There's nobody more over than her.
Well, that might be true, but again, she's not involved in the tournament. We barely spoke her name before Emmanuel brought it up. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's fair. That's fair. And to Arlene's point, the last time Bianca was in the title picture was when Io cashed in.
Ding, ding.
Because so many people were bitching that she needed to lose the title. So she's done what Bailey needs to do.
Yeah.
What Charlotte needs to do. What Becky needs to do when she comes back. And stay the fuck out of the title picture.
Bottom line, though, Chosen Green wins or fuck this company. Okay,
Yes.
now, I got a little bit hot underneath the collar there. Sorry, not sorry. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to the other gender just to cool off a little bit and talk about some of the men that are involved here and move away from championships, shall we? Now, since JD started off the last match, Walter, you start this one because Sami Zayn, simply put, he's going to take care of Drew McIntyre, but maybe it's not as easy as you think. Straight up, it's Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre one-on-one at Saturday night's main event. This match was made official Monday night on Raw after Sami Zayn and Seth freaking Rollins basically got together and said, yeah, we're cool. This really escalated last week, though, where Drew McIntyre was basically came back out of nowhere. Hasn't been seen since Hell in a Cell with CM Punk. Jury's still out that he's the guy that attacked Jey Uso. I think pretty much he's owned that. And of course, this really stems with the fact that we are now trying to prepare for Royal Rumble season, where Seth freaking Rollins, CM Punk, they have their own business. CM Punk, of course, he already talked about what Seth Rollins is, always seconding him. Seth Rollins says he will do what he needs to do on his own. Nobody should interrupt him to eliminate CM Punk because of his hatred, quote unquote. And Sami Zayn respects that. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn right now is trying to figure out things himself. And right now he's got a Drew McIntyre problem. And Drew McIntyre hasn't spoken a single damn word. He's just beat the living daylights out of Sami Zayn. And we saw what happened last week after Sami Zayn went one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. And Sami got emotions, Sami Zayn's emotions got the better of him. So, Walter, with the fact that we're now truly at Royal Rumble season, and you might be looking at two names that might want to put their name out there to win next year's Royal Rumble, that haven't won the Royal Rumble in a while. Sami Zayn's never has. Drew McIntyre previously did, but people forgot because it was front of nobody what it led to, of course, pandemic. That being said, Walter, who you got winning this? Let's call it what it is. Grudge match.
Again, Simply Reliable Studios. Simply predicting. Simply put, Drew McIntyre is going to run over this dude. He just came back. We haven't seen him since that Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk. No way he's going to lose his first match out. He's going to dominate this match.
Okay.
Simply put.
Simply put. I like that. All right. Well, JJ, simply put, do you agree or do you have more eloquent way of thinking how this match could go? And why he says Drew McIntyre wins? I mean, disqualification is a thing in WWE, and for all we know, if he attacked Jey Uso, I don't think Jey will be too far away from this, bro.
See, the logical thing would be for Drew to win.
Right.
But now we're asking for logic in professional wrestling.
Right.
Drew has owned the fact that he attacked Jey Uso. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are part of the bloodline.
A victorious bloodline as far as his war games, by the way, where you almost wonder now they did that, are they just all going to go their separate ways and do their own thing?
You got to wonder if Jimmy is going to be too far trying to get revenge for his brother.
And Jimmy's out injured.
Trying to help Sammy. You got to wonder if Roman is going to be on site. If they're trying to make Saturday night's main event a huge thing, gotta figure Roman Reigns is going to be there. Even if it's just backstage segment, you gotta figure Roman's going to be there. So, could Sammy win because of bloodline interference? Dun, dun, dun.
And that's what you're predicting.
I mean, to Emmanuel's point, Jimmy did get injured at War Games.
And so did Bronson Reed, and I think Tonga Loa. Like 3 people got injured in that bout.
But Jimmy just broke a toe. So it's not like they can't tape that shit up for a glorious run-in. It's not like he's going to be out of action for fucking 6 months because of a broken toe. Tape it up, put a brace on it, you're good. He doesn't have to go out there and have a full-on one-on-one match.
No.
I think Sammy gets this. Whether it's because Drew loses his shit and gets himself disqualified, or whether it's because Bloodline helps Sammy, I think Sammy gets this.
And I agree with you actually, because I think about it again, Sami Zayn, he's had a lot of rocky momentum this year. I mean, think about it. Before the Bloodline reunion and the win at War Games with the family, he lost to Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, where he could have gone to Crown Jewel to win that Super Bowl glorified diamond ring. But also, right now, Sami Zayn,
The Dynamite Diamond Ring?
cheaper, but yes. That being said, the belt, my God, it's freaking ridiculous. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. It's just one of those things right now where I feel like Sami Zayn, he kind of needs this win to keep going on the right track. And now that he has clarity, knowing that, again, Seth's doing his thing with CM Punk. He doesn't need to get involved in it. He's going to focus on his business. He called Drew McIntyre out. He made the match immediate. And we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do ahead of Raw for Netflix and try and get somebody a peaceful holiday. And Drew McIntyre, again, if he doesn't win, he could hurt Sami Zayn because we don't know what Drew McIntyre's intentions are since he's come back. He hasn't spoken a single damn word yet. I think Sami Zayn kind of needs this. And also, Sami Zayn, he can surprise us. All it takes is 3 seconds. We talk about it all the time. The ultimate underdog from the underground. That is Sami Zayn. But he hasn't had a big singles win in quite a while. And I know why Drew McIntyre did lose at Hell in a Cell, one of the most damnedest matches we saw this year. It's not like Drew McIntyre needs this win because he just came back, because more of Drew McIntyre's run this year has been about statements versus victories. So I think that Sami Zayn is going to get the win here one way or another too, JJ. I agree with you. All right. Well, that was
his last big pay-per-view win was against Gunther at WrestleMania, pretty much.
Exactly. Well, he did beat Bronson Reed one time on pay-per-view, and Bronson Reed, I saw live, Blu-rayed him at SummerSlam in less than 5 minutes. And Bronson Reed's the current WWE Intercontinental Champion with no challengers. But what
Braun Breaker is the Intercontinental Champion, not Bronson Reed.
Braun, all the Brauns in the world, not named Braun Strowman, but yes, thank you, Bunch. But yeah, Braun Breaker. God bless it. WWE names.
Don't forget Strowman.
Shut
That's
up.
a Braun too.
He's out with a groin injury, so I don't gotta confuse him. All right. Well, anyway, that's what happens when you're. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Anyway, Sami Zayn for the win before my brain gets too more discombobulated. Watch my brain go into a tailspin, shall we? Also watch JD go into a tailspin. But Walter, you get.
Oh yeah.
That was an awesome cartoon.
They're not copyright, but when I was once a wee lad, I do remember those shows, but we're not talking about that type of time. We're talking about something that JJ is going to grind his gears about, but I know he's going to be with etiquette, except this is my show, so fuck that. And it's also after dark. It's also after midnight, so go nuts. Because guess what we're talking about now? Let's just go get it out of the way right now. She ain't losing. It's Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Heavyweight Championship against Io Sky. And Io Sky, of course, has not been champion since she lost the title at WrestleMania. Also, of course, one of the War Games MVPs. Won a number one contenders match. Who am I kidding? Didn't win a number one contenders match. Oh, no, wait. Yes, she did. It was made at the Saudi Arabia. That's how forgettable it was. Again, Saudi Arabia screws up the entire W agenda. Tell me if you think otherwise. Anyway, Liv Morgan defends this title against Io Sky after coming up the loss at War Games. Yeah, we all know where this is going, right? I mean, do I have to say anything else? All right. Now, who started off the last match? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was JJ. Walter, who leads with the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship? Liv Morgan of the Street Trash Judgment Day or Io Sky of Damage Control?
Liv Morgan. Actually, I think I started off the last one because that says simply put.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, that was even more simply put. Should I even ask anybody else, even in the chat, if anyone thinks that Io Sky beats Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's Heavyweight Championship, or should I just make a motion to count it and move on?
Arlene says she's praying that Liv loses so we can move on. So, and I was going to bring up what Arlene said. It's like my feelings towards Liv. I'm going to put those to the side for a minute.
Good man.
I was watching a reel or a video earlier today, and this guy was going on about how Liv's title reign just ain't shit anymore. It's like it had all kinds of momentum, but almost ever since Raquel made her return and got involved in it, the focus has shifted away from Rhea Liv. Even Liv and Dom aren't doing too much shit together anymore, and that was like the heat magnet was Liv and Dom together.
Yep.
So there's people that are speculating, and I hope they're right, but there's people that are speculating that Liv might actually drop it here because of how Io and Rhea both went to grab the title at the exact same time on Raw. And could we potentially pivot to Rhea versus Io?
Ooh, I like that.
I still think the Mania match has to be Rhea Liv, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which, God, that's 4 more months of having to deal with that Twat Waffle coming to the ring.
Just
And
Awful. Wow. What the hell?
hashtag Twat Waffle now trending worldwide. But
Twat waffle.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
that was the nicest thing I could think to have said because I could have used some worse lingo, but
Someone's gonna use that as an insult. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck you say?"
at the end of the day, though, as far as Raw goes, Rhea is your top draw.
Oh, there's no denying.
Liv is close. What she has done since her return has put her up in that echelon. But as soon as Becky comes back, she's going to be number 3 again.
Yep.
With the Raw Netflix debut just a few weeks away, you want star power holding gold for that debut. Rhea's not in the match. Becky's not back yet. So Liv has to retain here.
Yeah, and Becky has also said that the last thing that happened, Dom closed the door in her face. She was not going to just leave gracefully and not get a receipt from that. It's also one of those things where I like the fact you brought up Io Sky and Rhea Ripley because that's what I'm hoping for. Because let's think about this. Rhea Ripley came into the main roster to challenge Asuka for her first women's championship at WrestleMania 37 and won. Rhea Ripley literally was taken out by Raquel Rodriguez from the Black and Gold NXT, and she finally got her win against her on the main stage of Monday Night Raw in the main event. Probably the only match I cared about from WWE involving freaking anything related to street trash. But it's one of those things right now where we've seen Rhea overcome Becky. We've seen Rhea overcome Charlotte. Rhea right now is on that redemption arc, a revenge arc. We're going to take a word from Liv Morgan's revenge tour. Blech. It makes sense for it to go full circle and for Rhea to beat Liv. But do you have to do it at WrestleMania? Fuck no, baby. You want to do big things on
The
Netflix?
hell was that?
My friend Noah from Columbus says no like that a lot. Shout out to my friend Noah. He went to go see Amy Dumas at GalaxyCon. I'm a little bit jealous. Where's the sauce? We used to do a podcast in the pandemic. He was once on one of the pre-show panels with me, JJ, and Jeff. We were both going to He's a good dude. Anyway, that being said, that's the most lyrical you're going to get from me. But bottom line, Liv Morgan needs to lose this title before WrestleMania. And I think the Raw Netflix makes perfect sense. But here's my fear. You did point out that Io Sky and Rhea both grabbed the championship. Now, I'm not Teddy Long players, so I'm not going to book a tag team match. But what does it usually mean when you have 2 challengers eyeing the main prize held by somebody else with big stuff coming up? Triple threats. And we got the Raw Netflix before the Royal Rumble, where there's no doubt in my mind, some way, somehow, all 3 of these women could be in here because I don't think we've had an actual champion win the Royal Rumble and call their opponent for a long damn time if ever. That being said, unfortunately, would also feel like the most obvious match of the night. I gotta go with Liv Morgan retaining. And to your point, they cooled off with the Dom thing, but she's got Dom still in the corner, I imagine. And if nothing else, she's got her heater in Raquel. And I do think Rhea's going to get involved. You 200 numbers. It's going to be 4 women chaos. You get a tag match made playoffs that leads to the triple threat. Io loses. Liv Morgan retains. Yes, Walter, I see your hand.
I'm not saying this will happen. I'm just putting it out into the ether. You never know. Raquel might be the diesel to Liv's Shawn Michaels and get tired of protecting her, and then it's Raquel that goes after the title too.
I wouldn't mind that either.
I think we all would welcome that. And let's not forget, Noah, not only do we have the Raw on Netflix prior to the Rumble, literally 1 week prior to the Rumble will be the next Saturday night's main event.
Oh, shit.
Why can't we set up a match for the next Saturday night's main event on this Saturday night's main event?
I can see it. I can see it. We've seen title changes before on Saturday night's main event. If you've watched the show's history, like me and Walter and JJ have, and my friend Mark, my Horseman Prediction, I'm just saying. But I think as far as this Saturday night main event goes, Liv Morgan is likely retaining. Damn it. All right. Well, now that we got that fart fest out of the way and we got a new word, and again, folks, I want to see it in the comments now. Hashtag twat waffle. Don't be a twat.
I got to do this real quick because Walter put it in the chat. What are you going to fix? Twat waffle. Now with extra syrup inside it.
Oh my God, JJ. What the fuck?
Now with new chicken flavor.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of this match. Into the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. Details at 3 a.m. Central Time.
Extra.
Hey, it's only 9:40 here on the West Coast.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay.
Hey, it's JJ this time. It's usually me with the jokes.
All right. Damn. Joke of the night. Joke of the month, honestly, probably. Good God. And we just only halfway through. Okay. Well, that being said, this is not going to be twat waffle, but this is going to be something. So let's go ahead and get into this because now I have to try and restore the honor and prestige of this great sport because, ladies and gentlemen, I demand all your gratitude for your reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther, who is defending his World Heavyweight Championship in triple threat action against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Okay, now I actually am a little bit more awake. Let's freaking go. All right, as we know, the Ring General Gunther, of course, restored his confidence, beating Damian Priest back as far as his War Games, but it came with a caveat because Finn Balor, being envy a prick as ever, once again cost Priest, after you thought Priest was done with this guy, beating him legitimately one-on-one back at Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that happened, folks. I forgot to. That being said, Finn Balor has put his name out there that he wants the World Heavyweight Championship and told Gunther straight up, but Gunther says, I'm not going to give you the shot. I'm going to give it more so to Dominic Mysterio. And to his credit, he actually did, and Dominic got destroyed. But Finn Balor, again, he came out and attacked. And then to add even more fuel to the fire, after what happened as far as his War Games, Gunther says, I'm going to give the title shot to Damian Priest again. And that raised Balor's ire so damn hard, he attacked both men, and Adam Pearce was like, all right, I'm going to make it official. Triple threat. All right, straight up. Buffer. Fall person. Finn Balor and Gunther has not happened on pay-per-view yet. One-on-one action. In a different lifetime with two different identities, this would be my marquee main event match across the pond. But you got Street Chats versus the Ring General. Just saying. Okay, JJ, what do you got to say regarding this triple threat match? Who leads the fall? Who leads with the title?
This is tough for me.
Really?
It really is because of the triple threat atmosphere. Gunther doesn't have to get pinned to lose the title.
True.
That means Gunther would still be protected because he never got pinned. And let's be real, do we really want Gunther running through the Royal Rumble, or would we rather have him getting his title rematch?
Hmm.
You know, I mean, this is the type of situation where I could see Finn pinning Priest to prove that he was the better Judgment Day leader, for lack of a better term,
Quote unquote.
and to get his comeback after his 1 day Universal title run. You know, I mean,
You got me thinking I don't like it. Damn it.
it's the only way that you can move the title from Gunther right now and it not weaken him. Because I don't see him pulling a Roman Reigns and stacking them both to pin him like he did to Edge and Bryan Danielson.
No, I don't see that either. No.
I don't see Gunther being that dominant.
No. And he doesn't need
Where
it.
he's like, can I move the fuck on now, please?
He did that with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania 39 when he was Intercontinental Champion. What was match of the night?
Arguably. But I don't know. This is difficult for me. You know what? This isn't part of the official prediction league. It's over. It's done with. We're just shooting the shit. Give me fucking Finn Balor.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't lose anything if I'm wrong. We're just kind of having fun with it. So,
but it's literally year-end fun. You know, like you win, like the biggest party or the biggest game, and then afterwards you just play on. It's like the end of your favorite series where they still play the game just because, even though there's no real stakes. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Joey Wheeler and freaking Yugi after they got through Duelist Kingdom. Shout out to my anime fans. But yeah, you got me thinking, Walter. He's got me thinking like Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Gunther, for the last 2 damn years, has been practically involved in the final 2 of the Royal Rumble. We know it's got to be almost a certainty that Cody Rhodes has no reason to win the Royal Rumble for 3 consecutive years in a row, let alone compete in it next year. Gunther is one of those that's never won the Royal Rumble either. But it's also one of those things where Finn Balor, he's been helped, like I said with Bayley, one of Triple H's locker room leaders, and literally one of the guys he's constantly given that push to. And to JJ's credit, he's not been that world champion since freaking losing the title 24 hours later after it was inaugurally created underneath that old identity. But it's one of those things where he got that moment of redemption back during his NXT title run during your hiatus. But then, of course, lost to the Karrion Kross. He has not been a world champion since. It's one of those things where I think Finn deserves it, but it almost feels like to me, Triple Threat, you're trying to eliminate a constant, I don't want to say burden, but repetitive main event worse than Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. It's one of those things right now where, I was going into this so damn easy saying, okay, Gunther wins. How do you neutralize Finn Balor and his envious prick nature? Or how do you get rid of Damian Priest here and you pin him without any sheer circumstance? I mean, does Gunther need to beat Damian Priest one-on-one without anybody interfering? Does Finn Balor need to lose to Gunther one-on-one so that way he has no other leg to stand on and basically won't get a world title shot until Gunther loses the title? Now JJ's got me thinking again. Raw to Netflix. Next Saturday's main event. Royal Rumble. Damn it. Fuck it. I'm not saying anything. Walter, your pick for this match. He's got Finn Balor. Where's your mind at?
I think Priest was only added into this to take the fall to keep Balor looking strong. Gunther retains. I think Balor's gonna have a hell of a 2025. He will eventually get that title because I think he's gonna win the Chamber, and that might be the heavyweight title match: Gunther versus Balor at WrestleMania 1-on-1. That's what we're gonna end up getting to. I don't think Gunther is even in the Rumble. I already gave my little thing on no DQ on what I think is gonna happen in the Rumble, but you weren't there to say it, so I'll repeat it. I think Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. CM Punk cashes in his little favor. His favor is that he's takes Roman's spot at WrestleMania. Paul
What?
Heyman convinces Roman Reigns to give up his spot because he's gonna go 1-on-1 with The Rock because the Ulafala is more important than that. And then we get both main events that everybody wants. CM Punk finally gets his main event against whoever the champion is because he took Roman's spot after winning the Rumble because that's what the favor is from Paul Heyman. And then then Sunday's main event is The Rock versus Roman for the head of the table title. That's what I think. But yeah, I seriously think Priest was just added in here to take the fall. And I think Balor's going to have a hell of a 2025. He's going to finally separate from Judgment Day, and we might see him holding title some point in 2025.
Am I dealing with Jerry Slaughter or Arlene here? What the fuck are you on? You're not even on your weed. Are you smoking something different? What?
He's always on his weed.
It's something. You don't know what Punk's favor is, and think about it. Cody almost gave up his spot until the better of it happened, but why not convince Roman give up your main event because you have to go against The Rock?
Well, I mean, to be
Oh,
fair,
Heyman's pretty damn convincing.
true, but also to be fair, if you watch Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins did point out there's one thing CM Punk hasn't done that he has, and to your point, that is the reason CM Punk came back to WWE, main event WrestleMania. If Seth Rollins is the guy that cop blocks him from doing that, he won't get the main event, but he'll still get his match at WrestleMania. Maybe that'll be more worthwhile for him or enough for him and enough for Seth to be like, I finally stopped you. But I gotta be honest. When I look at the WrestleMania card right now in my brain, and I don't do fantasy booking, I do see Rock versus Roman, but I see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and I don't see Seth and Punk main eventing either night of WrestleMania. I see them having their match the first night of WrestleMania because of how big of a story it is, considering the hatred, quote unquote, that these two have to each other. But that's a whole different conversation. But I like the fact that you do say Damian Priest takes the fall because he's been involved in the top picture. And it's one of those things right now where Finn Balor has not had that one-on-one shot and has been looking for it since I can remember. And I think we are building towards that. So I think to reserve that, I think you do have a point. I think I am going to still go with Gunther retaining, but I think you're on point with Damian Priest in the fall here. All right. Well, that being said, we got a super chat here, JJ. It looks like, and again, congratulations. What the fuck? Harleen with $5 here. We are supposed to believe that Roman is going to willingly give up his man without a fight. I think this is more of a statement, quote unquote, question to Walter.
I think she's responding to what I said. He's not going to willingly do it. Paul Heyman's going to convince him because that's what CM Punk's favor is. And he's going to promise him, I can get you The Rock at WrestleMania. He's going to deliver. And it's going to be more important that he beats The Rock at WrestleMania over the Ulafala because it's going to be revealed that Rock was behind the new bloodline the whole time and he holds the Ulafala. When you're Samoan and when you like that, the Ulafala is more important than some championship. You already broke history. You got like the fourth longest reign. You don't need that. You've main evented the last 3-4 WrestleManias behind that title. Now you can main event it over the Ulafala and what it means to the family. The head of the table is an important title in of itself. Title like, champion, Mr. something, not title like belt. But so that's why
I get what Walter's saying there,
yeah,
and I can kind of see that, because as anti-Roman winning the Rumble as I am,
Same.
I do feel that that's a good way to get there. I mean, hell, you could have Roman win the Chamber. That way somebody else can win the Rumble because the Chamber is usually for a title shot at the other title. So you could have it that way too, but I could definitely see Punk's favor being, I came back because I never main evented WrestleMania. That is my favor, Paul. I want Roman's spot in the main event. And as long as The Rock has been around between the Netflix debut and when Punk cashes in the favor, then it makes sense. Because there's still a huge question mark as to whether or not The Rock will be involved in WrestleMania.
Right, because of his schedule.
If Rock is unable, Roman Solo is just as compelling. The two leaders of the bloodline, the man who stole the Ulafala from Roman. And then, and again, I know we don't want a long-term book. We don't want to set up matches too far in advance because of The Rock and everything. But what if the night after WrestleMania and Roman thinking he got the Ulafala back, Rock comes out? It's like, Solo's not the final boss. Solo wasn't the head of the table. I'm the final boss. You still haven't defeated me. And we set up a la Rock Cena, WrestleMania 42, give a whole year to hype and build to it. Roman Rock.
I do think Roman Rock is something to happen, but until we know that Ulafala is not around Solo Sikoa's neck, I don't see it happening. I do think it's more realistic that they build Roman Rock out for a year. To your point, JJ, because it just continues that bloodline storyline of The Rock wanting that role ahead of the table. Is the final boss greater than the head of the table when he acknowledges Roman Reigns? We don't know if he acknowledges Solo Sikoa. That remains to be seen. And when I look at the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, we also got to consider the 16-time world chairman is going to be involved in both those shows as well. I think a definitive match, regardless, though, at WrestleMania at this point, it's got to be Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk, and both men are medically cleared. Again, CM Punk was not involved in WrestleMania because, again, he got freaking injured. So it's one of those things where Seth freaking Rollins, though, he wrestled while he was freaking injured in one of the damnedest matches of the night.
And to Arlene's thing, you don't get Roman Punk before Mania, you get it after Mania.
Yeah, I don't think Punk
because Punk cashed in his favor and stole Roman's spot.
Yep.
And Roman got the Ulafala back only to learn that it wasn't Solo. So now Punk has got what he wanted, and Roman is still kind of wandering. So Roman wants revenge for having given up his spot to Punk. And he's titleless and Ulafala-less. He's still not the head of the table.
And thus you get Roman versus Punk, which I think is a SummerSlam program waiting to happen based on the way that we're figuring it out. Bottom line, we're looking at...
Which will be the first 2-night SummerSlam at that.
I can't believe they're starting to do that. God. But yeah, there's a lot of unique suspension of disbelief when it comes to Roman, Rock, how the fuck you get there, and how does CM Punk interfere. That's really what this comes down to. But as far as this match goes, I just don't see Gunther losing the title right now. I don't. I don't even think Gunther loses it to John Cena at WrestleMania. I don't. Based on what we're talking about with Finn Balor makes the most sense right now because of their long-term history and Finn Balor's long-term drive. And I think it does lead to the fallout of street trash, to your point, JJ, with Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor butting heads over who truly deserves the world title shot and who is the leader.
If Cena wins the title at Mania, I riot.
Let's just go, Joe Walter, make sure you make a note of that. Timestamp 2 hours, 22 minutes, 40 seconds, 12:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, December 13th. Oh, Lord, it's Friday the 13th. What have you done?
I will say the only way I will be okay with Cena winning the championship is if he wins it in his last match. Win it. You've got number 17. You've surpassed Flair in the WWE history books, even though we know he's like a 21, 22-time champ. Don't come at me. You've passed him in the WWE history books. You retire as champion, and you immediately go into a tournament to fill the vacancy. Or, since he's supposed to be till the end of the year, Rumble 2026 is for the vacant championship.
Then you sell it.
Just like how Flair won the title the first time. You want to talk about a big fuck you to Flair's legacy.
Damn.
You just erased it in WWE by becoming a 17-time champion, and then whoever wins the Rumble gets the title belt, just like he did for his first WWF championship.
I think Ric Flair has too much respect for John Cena to do that, and vice versa. And we know damn sure Triple H has too much respect for Ric Flair to do that
Full
to him.
circle.
Damn it, Emmanuel.
That's a full circle, though.
It is. And Triple H is a guy for history. He said it during the 24 special into the first fully produced WrestleMania by him. It's not about how you get to the end destination. It's about getting to that end destination. The GPS defines the route, but Triple H, he looks at what is supposed to be at the end. You have arrived and somehow makes it happen. And
Well,
then we have
speaking
to
of the end
pivot.
destination, let's get to the last match, Noah.
Yeah, about to say, we're fantasy booking 2025 for the World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena, Rock, Roman, Bloodline. And we're not even talking about what's probably going to be the most important match and moment of the night. Because, again, this man, one night only, is going to fucking bring out the belt. I'm just going to say that again.
Possibly.
But, I mean, JJ, what the fuck else is it in that super long briefcase? I'm
I'm
just
just saying
saying.
possibly.
All right, fair enough. Let me go ahead and suspend my excitement. But yes, let's go ahead and talk about this story, shall we? The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, defends the WWE Undisputed Championship against former friend, now the most bitter of foe, Kevin Owens. And boy, has this story escalated. But the fact of the matter that, yes.
What if it's not the Winged Eagle, but it's the belt that Dusty thought he fucking won?
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's
That's a
good.
And he can actually climb the turnbuckle like Dusty did and hold that championship up to recreate that picture.
Okay,
What if
now
we've all been completely blindsided because we want the Winged Eagle so bad, and it's the fucking superstar Billy Graham Dusty Rhodes championship?
Okay, if that happens, I acknowledge JJ going forward for all royalties related to WWE fantasy booking and storytelling.
Or
But
the old school NWA title.
Nah.
I definitely don't.
That wouldn't make sense in the WWE confines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, let's go ahead.
Some people said it might be the Stardust costume.
You
It
dickheads.
was shining
One
gold when
night
you
only.
opened it.
One night only.
You dickheads.
It was
Or
gold
it could
when
be,
you opened
or it could
it.
be Dusty's polka dot singlet.
I mean, I don't think Cody Rhodes has worn polka dots in any fashion outside a handkerchief since returning to WWE. So, I mean, that would be interesting. But with all seriousness, let's go ahead and talk about this story, shall we? So, again, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. Again, the greatest of friends with respect, it seems, until Bash in Berlin, where Cody Rhodes gave Kevin Owens literally that opportunity. And Kevin Owens refused to pull the trigger. Kevin Owens looked at his friend that night, vulnerable and injured, and didn't exploit it, unlike Sami Zayn back in our NXT when he first won the NXT Championship. You move the clock forward after Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns beat the Bloodline, and he did it because he felt it was right. Kevin Owens felt betrayed because he felt the Bloodline was trying to take everything away from him that he's been wanting since he was a child. While Kevin Owens believes he's the victim, Cody Rhodes believes that all Kevin Owens is bitter and mad at himself because the only world championship accolade he got had a big old fat asterisk next to it when he was literally handpicked by Triple H and then got screwed by Goldberg. And then, of course, has not been world champion ever since. And, of course, we saw at Bash Berlin, it was an anniversary time for him as well when it came to his next time for the championship. And now he is so bitterly angry against everybody that believes that he is wrong in this. He even took out Randy Orton with a move banned by WWE, the fucking pile driver. So here we stand. Now both men have no restrictions towards each other in what they're going to do, what they want to do, and what they probably need to do. Walter, you kick this one off and you tell a story about this. I mean, again, we talked about, Gunther possibly being safe in defeat and Triple Threat. This is not Triple Threat, though. But this is a mainstay show. We're talking about Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Saturday Night Main Event. We're talking about KO here, year end. Do you think Kevin Owens once again finally becomes a world champion, or does Cody Rhodes finally shut Kevin Owens up and continue to forge his kingdom where eventually he's got to face a previous legacy. I'm just saying. Who leads the Undisputed WWE Championship?
I wish I could say Kevin Owens, because man, he deserves it. Like, I almost wish he goes crazy, loses a bunch of matches, and just brings out Kevin Steen. Like, screw it. Like, why not go back to your ROH character? Like, go back to the indie character because you're tired of it. Because we keep saying it, JJ and I said, every effective heel turn has some truth in it. KO and Kevin Owens told no lies. Like,
He
everything
hasn't
he's
at
saying makes
all.
the hell. Everything he's saying makes a hell of a lot of sense, and everything he's doing is just spot on. Like, from the interview in the car to like trolling Michael Cole, making him come back and just closing the window in his face, and the fact that he actually said "Get out of my rental." The fact that I don't know why I find that so funny. The fact that he said it's a rental, "Get out of my rental," made it like 10 times funnier. I don't know what it is. It's just my goofiness, but
No, that's Kevin Owens' goofiness. Kevin Owens has always been a character, all right? He's been brilliant
yeah,
at that.
but
Please continue.
but the hype over whatever's in this case, the Wing Eagle title, as we always guess. But I do like JJ's idea though.
I love
But
JJ's idea.
whatever it is, the fact that it's one night only and all this hype, you got to think Cody walks away with it. I love Saturday Night Main Event. I love like the nostalgia. No offense, don't take this the wrong way. It's not a big enough PLE for Cody after finishing his story and do all that to lose that title. It's got to be on a bigger stage that he loses this title. Kevin Owens can be the right dance partner, so to speak, is the right person to take that title from him, but it just isn't the right PLA. The PLE. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not big enough. And I'm not trying to shit on Saturday night or anything like that. That's the championship of the championships. No way you're gonna lose it on that. It would make it important and make people say you can't miss any PLE because you never know what would happen. But I just don't see him pulling that trigger. And I'm hoping one day Kevin Owens does get that, and Finn Balor can get the other title too, because God damn it, they deserve it. They've been busting their asses, doing everything that they've been asked for. But it's just WWE has a good problem to have. They just have too many people that are credible as champions, and it's a good problem to have. Believe me, if other companies tried to do that and push the right people, but that's neither here nor there. That's what I love about this. There's no way to know at the end of 2025, going even in 2026, who would end up having these titles. But I'm long for the ride, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, Cody leaves with the championship.
JJ, we were talking about Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. We were talking about the World Championship pictures here. I think Kevin Owens is also a fair shout to think about because, to my knowledge, Kevin Owens has not had that KO Mania World Championship WrestleMania main event, nor is he a Royal Rumble winner. With this newfound drive and determination to remove 2016 and maybe finally finish his own story, this could be bigger than we think here, but it's also one of those things where how many times we said it when it comes to not just Roman Reigns, but honestly, this championship, particularly the WWE Championship. It's not about the result, it's about the story. Something tells me the story is not going to end here, but it's going to be paused after this. And we got to keep in mind, guys, Cody still has what The Rock gave him in his pocket. We know what The Rock said the Raw to WrestleMania. Your story with Roman is over, but your story with me is just beginning. And the last time we saw Rock, he did this in front of Roman and Cody at the end of Bad Blood. Even with the agenda, like you said, JJ, we were talking about these matches of Rock and Roman, Rock and Punk. Rock and Cody is another one that has yet to happen, title or no title. And The Rock says that, again, you are on my radar. So believe that. So there's a lot to think about here going into 2025. And I know we're excited, but again, we got to finish 2024. So bottom line, JJ, and we also talked about, again, Fallen Legacy. What do you see happening here with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes regarding the Undisputed WWE Championship?
I love Kevin Steen. I was in the building when he won the PWG championship for the first time, which I believe at that point was his first world championship.
Yep, because afterwards, a while later, he, of course, won the Ring of Honor World Championship with wars against the likes of Adam Cole, baby, and El Generico. Whatever happened to that guy? Continue.
But like everyone has said, it's not Cody's time to lose yet.
No.
If Cody's going to lose, the soonest it would be the Rumble. But I don't think he's losing it until Mania, if he even loses it at Mania.
I don't think he loses that Mania, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, part of me wants him to, because I'd like Mania to be a refresh. But part of me is like, shit, we dealt with 4 years of Roman Reigns as champion. We can let Cody hold it through SummerSlam, give him a 1.5 year reign at least.
Give him at least a year plus.
You know, so but Cody has to win here. Cody is about old school. He's about tradition. Got to have Cody retain at the first Saturday night's main event of the new era.
Right?
Especially if they're going to dig something out for one night only. Got to let him retain.
Yeah, it's just, I feel bad for Kevin Owens, but it does feel like we're finally getting the Kevin Owens prize fighter, Kevin Steen, former world champion opportunist back in the fray, and I do like seeing that. But there's a lot of speculation on where it goes from here once Kevin Owens loses again. I mean, does Randy Orton come back and exact revenge? Does Randy Orton maybe get dropped on his head and all of a sudden think Kevin Owens was right in what he was saying? Because again, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, they went to war against the Bloodline together as well and had similar wars with the Bloodline. Hell, Randy Orton lost to Roman Reigns in one of the biggest marquee matches of young Roman Reigns' non-tribal chief career at SummerSlam. So it would be hugely poetic to see Randy Orton, who freaking faced Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, the same event where he won his first World Heavyweight Championship, became the youngest heavyweight championship in the company history. I know what you're going to say, JJ. Don't go there, please. But it's just one of those things right now where I'm looking at so much more Cody versus blank that I just don't right now see Kevin Owens winning right now. I don't. So I have to go with Cody Rhodes retaining as well. But yes, Walter, I see your hand here.
Don't forget, we also got this trade thing, and Kevin Owens teased it and said, I'll deal with the Sammy thing when we get to that bridge. Sammy can end up on
Ooh.
SmackDown, and we can get the reunion of these two. Sammy might see the light and turn heel again and go with Kevin Owens. So you just never know. Or we could revisit the rivalry.
I'm about to say, I think the rivalry at this point is more likely because Sami Zayn is literally an oos. And Kevin Owens can't stand anything related to Bloodline. Period, point blank, simple.
Exactly.
And honestly, that trilogy in 2016, that was probably one of the gleaming hopes of me going back into enjoying main roster WWE, because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fucking kill it every time they're in the ring together. Period. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is retaining. And as far as how you end Saturday night's main event, do you get a tease of The Rock once again? Do you get the tease of Cody Rhodes' next opponent? What the fuck happens?
I
have
love
no
JJ's
idea.
idea of that title, and then instead of playing Cody's theme, you end it with Dusty's theme the whole time. American Dream playing at the end with him holding that title that Dusty should have had. I like JJ's
the
idea.
red, white, and blue confetti. Yeah,
Mhm.
yes, JJ. We got JJ thinking. What did
His
we
wheels
do?
turned. His
What
wheels
did we
turned.
do? What did we do? Well, look what you kicked off. Go ahead, JJ.
How would you end Saturday night's main event?
Go for it.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
The face off. I'm not gonna lie.
How about we have that for the January Saturday night's main event?
Wait.
Cena Cody?
Cena versus Cody? At Saturday night's main event in January.
Why not?
Cena is only going to be doing limited dates. So you know he's not going to be on every Raw. You know he's not going to be on every SmackDown.
Yeah.
So they're going to save him for special shit. You've got 12 PLEs a year, one per month. Saturday night's main event's going to be quarterly. There's 4. That's 16 of his 30-something dates. Now you can use him on Raw and SmackDown or an NXT pay-per-view or television show. But you got to get him in there for every PLE and every Saturday night's main event. And what better way to start off the new year than Cena versus Cody?
Probably recreate Mega Powers and do Cena and Cody in a tag team match, and then you build towards Cena versus Cody. I honestly can see that now. Damn you, by the way. And this honestly might be one of the very first times that no one will complain or be confused of face versus face. So I mean, it's one of those things that's very possible. The bottom line, though, we are going to live through previous nostalgia to redefine new glory and very unique storytelling, as this right here feels like a final resolution for WWE's 2024. And again, this is the day after. So again, we got final resolution today, and we got Saturday night's main event on Saturday, and we got to I believe what Safety's pointing in the chat, NJPW's final stop here in the USA with Strong Spirit Evolved, main evented by Mercedes Moné defending the NW Strong Women's Championship against Stardom Suzuki. And all I want for Christmas is Suzuki to ground that CEO into the dirt and take the title off her. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's one of those things right now with this weekend. So much right now. One of those weekends, again, that defines if you're not a fan after this, get the fuck out of the business. But also, one more time, just so it's clear, Chelsea Green wins despite everything else that looks awesome at this show and future storytelling. Chelsea Green wins, or fuck this company. But that being said, what's your guys' opinions on everything coming up this weekend? Whether it's NWW, AEW, TNA, WWE, what are you most excited for? What are you least excited for? Who do you hope to see lose? Who do you hope to see win? Do you have a wilder speculation or prediction or outcome than us regarding anything? Let us know in the chat or the comments down below. And thank you for tuning into this special, I would say, early holiday gift, double feature of City Predicting, as we have finally come to the conclusion of all the matches to predict. So again, guys, great conversation. Good luck to you at TNA. Let's have some great damn fun this weekend, and also some great fun with Saturday night's main event, because it's sure to be an interesting night. And again, just hearing Obsession and just seeing this graphic right now just warms my heart so damn bad. Now, I still need it widescreen. I need the VHS filter. I need the old school microphones. I need someone in a bow tie. I need the old ring skirts. I need the original bear. I need the environment. For the love of God, can you give me an actual theme environment, WWE? Jesus
Too
Christ,
bad
you got
Vince
more
is
than
in
enough
trouble,
money.
because you need that old school where Vince talks over. Tonight we got, you know how that old.
Oh, they'll
that
probably
old school
record it.
stuff.
They got AI technology. They got AI technology that could probably do that. I mean, let's be
Yeah,
honest
but
here.
they're
All
not
right.
gonna mess with that.
You Shane.
I mean, that's not a bad shout. But anyway, let's go ahead and finally get some sleep and bid people find out. Thank you all for tuning in again. Stay tuned for the TNA forum. Stay tuned, guys, and make your predictions, of course, official. It will be literally in the comments once the stream concludes, and it also will be on my social medias. And again, good luck to all of you in the end of the TNA League. Hope everyone had a great time, and also everybody enjoy Saturday night's main event and everything we're going to do here at the Super Power Studios this weekend, because it is going to be busy. That being said, yeah, no kidding. JJ, always an absolute pleasure. Appreciate you again. Lots of stuff to do. I know you got to get ready for some rest too. Why don't you go ahead and tell people where they can connect and find you?
Or you can find me on the socials at Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on Twitter and Blue Sky, ROWJJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios. Check me out on all that stuff. Check out Renegade's reviews. I've been having some special episodes dropping here, reviewing holiday films as a bit of a soft reopening for the channel come the beginning of the year. This week with Friday the 13th, it's been Christmas horror movies. There was one called Werewolf Santa, where Santa gets bitten by a werewolf and turns into a werewolf. Wednesday was The Mean One, which is a horror version of the Grinch story. And Friday the 13th here, it's going to be It's a Wonderful Knife instead of It's a Wonderful Life. So check all those out. Next week, we get back to some more traditional Hallmarky Netflix type of Christmas movies. Wrapping things up with the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and I'm doing the Princess Switch trilogy from Netflix. So it's basically a Christmas version of The Prince and the Pauper, but it's cute. The first one is the best. They get little bit, I won't say worse, but not as good as it goes on. So make sure you check out all those support. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, because come the first of the year, there's going to be content every day.
Yeah, Lord help my voice. What the hell have I got myself into?
I'm not even just talking about watch alongs. I'm
Yeah, I
talking
know,
about
right?
canned content that's going to be premiering on my channel. 4 new shows.
Nice. And of course, after the gold made, Walter and I and James are going to try and insert coin and officially plug in to video game related content, whether it's podcasts, let's plays, who knows what else madness might ensue. Thanks to all of you in the Cimarabo Studios that made it all possible for your passion and very polite donation also.
We'll have to
Walter,
tap Scatboy for that as well.
yeah, right, as a gamer. Game on. Anyway, we'll figure all that out later. Twitch and game streams and all that type of stuff. Anyway, again, that will be part of the business plan of 2025. We'll get a meeting in order for the budget and figuring out stuff, because again, with these streaming services going up in price and figuring out, you guys think you can share stream? No, you can't. You gotta have your own account, fuckers. We're gonna definitely reorganize and restructure ourselves next year. I guarantee you that. That being said, Walter, again, man, you're reliable and you're fucking tired. Just go ahead and put up your grab, and then you get you the hell out of here, man, because it looks like you're about ready to fall asleep because you probably got work in a few hours. Appreciate you, man. Where can people find and connect with you? And go ahead and say it. Good grief, you simpleton.
Mamacita.
You're a fool.
Yeah, I'm not saying it loud. That's why I keep looking over my shoulder.
I know this.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
I'm not
And her
dancing like
name is
MJF.
Lily.
Not copyright. Not copyright. Not copyright.
He changed the words. You could catch
A
me.
little bit.
You gotta update that because I do got Blue Sky now too. But Twitter and Blue Sky, the same names. Walter Alex Cruz. Walter.cruz.940, and we got content coming up on my channel. No, we'll just tease it. But Rage of Wrestling, you got the video game comment. We also got a news themed channel that's gonna come pretty soon. I gotta get to Sad Boy because we're gonna do regular sports on that. And I could throw it to the sports guy, and he might do it. So it's gonna be full on. I'm gonna talk to him. He could do the sports while I do the headlines, and we're gonna make it a thing, baby. The simple, reliable news station.
God damn it.
What the hell? Well, at least it doesn't involve me. Oh,
No, you'll be there too. Don't worry.
what the hell are you gonna have me
Place
do?
for
One
everything.
line out? I ain't gotta do jack shit.
Hey, you can do the weather.
What?
You never know. You look like a meteorologist, but yeah,
I mean, I did literally call the weather one time on this show. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. Freaking bring up a map right now. Anyway, okay, well, thank you, Walter.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go, Lee. I can throw you. You'll have to be the token weather girl, the sexy weather girl.
Careful, dude.
Then I know then she won't get mad at me about that graphic anymore.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to get a green screen at some point with this madness, I think. Anyway, well, thank you, Walter. Thank you, JD. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, folks, you want to follow me, you want to keep up Predictions League, you want to continue to be part of the tomfoolery and even spend at my dignity. You see the PayPal down below. You can follow me, of course, on the YouTube and on the Twix, and then Fox 9016 for all fans wrestling. Shout out, of course, to my W fam on the Twitter and social media platforms. And as always, it's going to give it to you. Again, I will be back here with these fine gents calling Final Resolution. We'll also be simulcasting AEW Collision. Winter is coming as the Continental Classic continues. And of course, the All Elite content continues in December to remember as we have the Holiday Bash, Christmas Collision, 34th Street Dynamite, New Year's Smash, the final AEW Rampage of the year that leads to World's End. And of course, we start off the new year with the Ultimate Simulcast when they're on TBS and Max as we cover Fight for the Fun before they kill me with the week of Japanese pro wrestling. We'll play the watch along trailer tomorrow night or during the Saturday shenanigans. But again, follow me if you choose. I'm Fox 9016 to keep up Predictions League, as I only wish to continue to encourage and remind you why I love this so much. And the reason I love this so much and do all this crazy stuff because I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan. 2 hours later. Perfect. professional wrestling. Damn it! As only wish to remind you and encourage you that are the winners, the losers, no better. This fans of appearance for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. But with that being said, we've been going on with this double feature for far much longer than I expected, but it was a hell of a good time. Thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell, knows the video goes live on demand on any of the channels here at the Super Reliable Studios. Hit the subscribe button. Keep growing our channels. Keep supporting the passion. I assure you, our creative content and this outlook on YouTube and across other platforms is not laid up anytime soon. What is going to let up, though, finally, is my voice. I finally beat you now. Fine, I do. Again, Sleep Addicting will conclude for the year with World's End and Ring of Honor Final Battles. The other leagues will conclude. Again, go out to everybody here in the TNA finale. And again, we will see you for TNA 5 Resolution and this crazy weekend of content, too, where we're covering 4 shows this week and have, of course, the Saturday Shenanigans hosted by Bragg Wrestling JJ Williams. But until then, get some sleep if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, get dinner. Enjoy time with your families. Continue to prepare yourselves for the holiday season. And until next time, when the thing goes live, you know what to do. Make a positive impact in life and have a good night. This has been Sleep Addicting, TNA 5 Resolution, and Saturday night's main event double feature. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, folks.
Mamacita.
JJ, stop it. What I tell you about that, seriously,
Bye,
you need to quit
guys.
that.
Bye, guys.
I am not the learning tree, damn it. Stop it. Freaking weatherman, Noah Foster, Emmanuel, you freaking jabroni, and then say
It's just gonna be simply sunny.
Joe Hendry.
Dad, JJ, I was about to press the fucking button. Why do you do this to me? You know what?
Name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Something.
All right, I'm putting the button before we kill any more gimmicks here. I swear, this show goes off the rails every time, and I love it, but also sometimes I regret it. All right, that's it, folks. Good night, goodbye, sayonara, adios, every other Rosetta Stone. Goodbye, you can say that Chris Jericho won't tell you.
This show was something.
Something! Stop it!